One. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to episode 209 of the KBMOD podcast. It is October 11th, 2015, and we've got a smaller, more intimate cast for you today. We do have the lovely Katie Zen joining us on cam as well, which is awesome because, again, having Katie Zen having just turned 18 and being allowed to be on cam is pretty exciting. So.
Make sure to check out his livejasmine.com/KatieZen18. That's his new streaming site. So
the one thing, Katie Zen, that I'm excited about was that when you came out to your parents that you really wanted to pursue the Live Jasmine lifestyle that you're doing, were they, like, you said that they were really supportive. Had they known this was a dream of yours for a long time? Or I didn't mean to do the impromptu interview, but we didn't cover this last time you were on. So
I have nothing to say.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe it didn't go well. But anyway, I just want to say I've been loving the shows, and again, I'm going to save up for a few more Ratchet coins, and I'll throw them your way. But I'm a little low on that.
It's more Grundle cam than I expected. Is the thing. Like, I didn't need that much taint action, but I mean, whatever you're into, dude. I'm sure there's an audience for that.
It's an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste.
Well, but, literally, like, have you ever tasted taint? It's not good.
Depends on if you use body paint. Anyway, it's a whole nother thing.
All right,
but
it's good. This is a gaming podcast, so let's maybe leave this for the
It is gaming related. It's good to have you on, Katie Zen. We've, of course, got Brandon. We've got Hex. And the rest of the boys. John's doing some stuff. Got some stuff going on tonight. So does Nick. So they'll be back next week, I assume. Which, next week's podcast, not to tell you to turn this one off, which you might want to anyway, but don't turn this one off yet. But next week's podcast is going to be one of the one that is always, I think for most of us, the favorite is the one that we do at Extra Life.
Yeah, I think that's always. I think it's a fan favorite as well. We always have a ton of fun.
It definitely is, and there's going to be a lot of special guests, a lot of people coming into town for Extra Life, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep,
that one's going to be on Saturday night.
Yeah, that will be next Saturday.
Exactly, yes, and that'll be Saturday.
Yeah, Sunday we'll be recovering from the fact that we've been playing video games for 3 straight days and hanging out with friends that have come in and showing people Pittsburgh and really just enjoying ourselves. This is our big payoff for the year, basically.
Exactly. So
we're live Sunday, October 11th right now. I don't know if you said the date, so I'm re-saying the date.
I did say it.
No one in chat yelled.
Well, it's October 11th. It's 10/11. That only happens every now and then.
It actually happens once a year.
Next week, the podcast will be on Saturday night. That's October 17th. And we'll be doing the marathon. I figure we should just talk about Extra Life because that is next weekend.
Yeah.
Yes, we should.
It is. We're going to be live 3 different days. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's not going to be one continuous stream because of the venue that we have this year. So we will start on Friday night. I don't know the exact start time offhand, but hopefully there will be a schedule post going up.
We'll have one this week. We'll have one this week.
So we're starting Friday evening. Then most of the day Saturday, I think, very long stream on Saturday.
Saturday will be the big day. That's 11 a.m. to like 2 in the morning.
Yeah. So a lot of hours on Saturday, and then Sunday we finish up kind of in the morning into the early afternoon.
Yep.
Exactly. And that, I mean, beyond the fact that the venue obviously being that we have to close at a certain time, I think it'll be good too because people will actually sleep and the segments will be a lot more entertaining because everyone's going to be fresh. You know what I mean? Some of those late hours where it's like 3 a.m. and everyone.
Well, everyone's dead, and you know the person casting at that time of day. Not only viewers want to sleep at that point, but the person casting is doing it literally out of like exhaustion. Like
exactly,
like we've done this before for other things where it was just like, okay, I just literally woke up. I'm going to play Mark and the Ninja for 5 hours, like because no one else can stream right now. So that's not good content. We're gonna do better segmented stuff this year.
I think the blocks are all going to be good this year. So
we've got lots of great prizes this year. We've got a gaming PC donated by Corsair, MSI, and Origin PC. They have a PC for us to give away. We've got some other peripheral prizes from Corsair. Tetra Ninja, our friend Nick, has donated a couple SSDs, I believe, and an H100i that we're going to give away. We've got some games to give away as well. It's going to be fun. Like it's the reason we keep doing this every year is we really love doing Extra Life. So we've got a LAN coming up. It's fucking Christ. It's like 5 days away. God, I have to leave the podcast right now and go do more prep work. Bye. Fuck.
Hex is a little bit nervous. But,
no, I'm not at all. It's fine.
He's actually right now. He's creating a really nice big kidney stone out of the stress. For the next life, but I can already see it. Actually, it's just like, actually coming out your shoulder right now.
Like pulsing out of my kidney. It just breaks through like a chest, like a baby gray. Like it's terrible.
Oh, God. But yeah, so that's definitely it's going to be super exciting. I'm really excited to see everybody, and I think it's going to be like we said this at the pre-show, but I agree with Hex. I do think it's going to be our best Extra Life we've ever done. So And if it isn't, then I never said this, and you can forget it. I think it will be.
This podcast will be purged from the iTunes bank after it's the,
exactly.
the
We'll just go back
literal
and be like,
worst
we never said
actual I've
that.
ever
We never
done.
promised anything.
All right, so what have we been doing this week? Has anybody been doing things that aren't gaming related they want to talk
Start
about?
with KD. I feel like
what's up with you,
like he
KD
has
Zen?
been.
Yeah, I did some real life stuff. I went to, I don't know if this is just an Indiana thing or it's the first time I've ever been to it. It's called like a covered bridge festival.
Okay.
When like,
Don't laugh at that,
Already.
Scott. You're from Pennsylvania. Like, that's
sorry,
a
I
thing that
almost spilled
exists
my water.
here.
I'm good. No. It's just.
no,
Oh shit. No, I'm not judging. Go ahead. Finish.
it's when like the leaves are changing. It was nothing anyway. It turned into like it was just a giant flea market. It wasn't.
Yes, but this is perfect
Oh
because
shit! I didn't even realize.
the keyword is flea market. Okay, if you
God
said that, I
damn
would have been more excited. But that's
Fuck.
fantastic. So, did you end up buying anything, or just look at stuff, or?
I didn't really. Oh, I got one thing. I got a bow and arrow made out of PCP pipe or PVC pipe.
Does it work?
It was so cheap and it's so good.
pipe.
A crackhead swung
Wait,
to
did
you
I say
in the parking
PCP?
lot.
Oh, I blew it. I blew this whole
PCP pipe.
section.
That's
Can we
well,
start
you got
over?
a deal then. If it was, how
Yeah,
much did you pay for it?
Actually, yeah, let's start
PCP.
the whole podcast over. Scott, can you count it off again now that
Good
he
lord.
screwed that up?
3, 2. I'm
Wait,
host
so
Katie.
were you just going with friends? You went with family, or what?
Oh, I went with family.
Yeah.
Oh, and one thing that did happen, there was live music, and they were doing an AC/DC cover.
Nice.
And it had to be some of the worst. Like, it was. The thing was, it was this kind of voice of this kind of woman was singing monotonous, and then she tried to do the voice with the lead singer, and it sounded like human thunderstruck. It sounded like the most bizarre thing I've ever heard.
So it was like
Yeah.
if
Like-
Bob Dylan tried to cover AC/DC. Like, that's fucking
yeah.
weird.
Wow. But they call it covered. But instead of a flea, it's called a covered bridge.
We have these here too,
Covered
Scott.
bridge because like the leaves are changing color, and
Wait,
bridge is
wait,
covered in
what?
leaves. And
Wait,
you just
covered or colored bridge?
covered.
So the
What's
bridge.
the-
Wait, so it's implying that the bridge is covered with leaves, though. That's what you're saying.
No.
Yes, because
No.
leaves are the bridge. Yeah.
Oh
So-
my God,
that's why-
no.
That
Do you
is.
I
know-
went to the bridge, and there were leaves covering the bridge.
Okay.
Was the bridge covered like with a house, like a basically a house you drive through?
No, it was
So
covered.
when I think of
Okay, so this
a
is
covered
totally
bridge
different then.
festival, I am assuming that the entire festival is taking place underneath a very lengthy covered bridge. It's really, I mean, I've seen some covered bridges, but I don't think you could house that many people. Also, where are you going to put your like deep fryers and stuff for all the snacks you can eat? And anyway, it just doesn't. Okay,
Just
but I
seem-
think
that seems dangerous and
it
like
seems
not
dangerous.
smart.
Yeah.
Has anybody
But it
else done
doesn't. Just to
something
confirm,
that
it
isn't-
doesn't take place under a covered bridge. We'll end this,
No.
but okay, gotcha. All right,
about-
well that's interesting. But you said it's like a flea market, so that's good. I don't have to ask Brandon if he's been to one. Brandon has made
Yeah,
it
he knows
clear to
all
me
about
that he
Yeah.
would tell me if he has been. So,
Some of the tables there had some of the most bizarre selections. Like they had like High School Musical 3 for the PS2 for $3,
Oh.
right next to like a giant skull from an animal.
how much was the what in comparison? What was the price difference for the?
I didn't see a price tag on it, so I'm just
okay.
gonna.
Well, you have
let's
to
just,
actually perform a blood ritual, and then you get High School Musical 3
yeah,
along with
High
the
School
skull.
Musical 3.
I would say that's
That's
$2 more than High School Musical 3 on the PS2 is.
That's generous.
PS3 is
Yeah,
worth.
it
is
was.
worth. But
Yeah, you knew it was whatever they could find in like their lot. And then you've got the guy with the taser.
Maybe it wasn't for sale.
well-
Maybe that was just the decoration.
Maybe, possibly. I don't imagine who would go and you know what? I want to buy that skull of whatever kind of wolf that was.
oh,
Okay. Well,
all right.
Has anyone
Did
else
anybody?
done anything?
Yeah. Anybody else do anything? Hacks.
Have I done? No, I basically worked this week. We had a bunch of kids at my place tonight.
Oh yeah, you were telling. Yeah,
Yeah.
tell that story.
I mean,
Just tell the zoo story because that's really depressing, especially when you're trying to entertain children.
Yeah, so my wife does Big Brothers Big Sisters, and she had her little sister with her, but also it just so happened that because they were planning to go to the zoo, that her little sister's brother was going to come with them. So it also happened to be free day at the zoo in Pittsburgh, so they sat in traffic for 3 hours and went, well, to hell with this, and ended up back at our place, and we just made tacos and played with my dogs. That was my
And
entire
tell me
evening.
the sentiment that you
That
were saying.
sounds so awful.
Yeah, like
Like,
tell me after you were done. Like you feel like you've just been hit by a truck.
Yeah, so
killing
here's the
children.
thing. Like, Bob Post, one of our co-founders has 4 kids. Like every day goes home from work, 4 kids and a wife. And after 3 hours with 4 kids of like making dinner, hanging out, like they went to the park for a little bit and I rebuilt my home theater PC so we could like play video games on it. In like 40 minutes, I managed to rebuild a PC and make it emulator ready. So I like showed them how to play Mario Kart and like some other like easy video games for little kids to play. After that, like everyone left and I was just like, well, fuck, I don't want to do a podcast now. Like, I'm gonna go to bed until like.
See, the thing is
Thursday.
though, like Bob has 4 kids, but Bob, like, when you talk to Bob and like on the rough days, like, but the light has gone out of Bob's eyes, and Bob knows like until his kids are out of the house, he defers his dreams and wishes to them. So, yes, I agree that Bob does it all the time, but it's taking its toll on Bob. God bless him. But he survives.
He survives, and it honestly was fun. Like I like kids. Like it was cool to like have Megan and Zoe and Hunter here, and like we had fun. Like it was a nice time. So.
But it is when you're not. I know what you mean though.
When you're not a parent,
when you're not in parental shape. Like,
like my job every day is like get up at like 8 and go to work for like 9:30, and then like come home and basically have a beer and go to sleep. Yeah. So not having to like worry about anyone else's life was a little different.
Yeah.
What about anybody else?
Going to the like having a free day at the zoo sounds like actually the worst thing ever.
That's fair.
Because the parallel that I can make is there's usually, I don't know if this happens in other states, but in Texas they have like one weekend before school starts that's tax-free weekend.
Oh yeah, that happens here.
And it's basically a war zone at every single department store.
I can't imagine being a cashier going through that. Like the dead eye, like leaving a Target as it closes after tax-free, and like just like the zombie face you would get from the cashiers and people that have to restock shelves.
Yeah, like I have to imagine working that weekend. It's just like the brand new people all get stuck that weekend or something. Because like if you've worked retail before during that weekend, you're absolutely taking your vacation days. You're like, there's no way you can bring me in that weekend.
So when I used to work for Best Buy many years ago at this point. But when I was like a Geek Squad tech, it was like, no, you literally are not allowed to put in for Christmas or put in for Thanksgiving. You are working Black Friday. You are working the day after Christmas. And I have seen some shit on a Black Friday, man. Like.
You ever seen anybody get trampled in your?
I've never seen anybody get trampled, but I have literally seen people fight over like the dumbest thing that we have on sale. Like, hey, this fucking Dynex Best Buy brand keyboard that's literally worth it's worth 9 cents, and we have it marked down from $48 to $38, and you just hit somebody for it. Like. Yeah, sure. It's worth nothing. It was made in Taiwan. Like it's the worst.
If you get arrested over a Dynex like 12-inch, like 24-inch flat screen TV, you should just be instantly executed. They should not have a trial. They're just like, there's this one. There's no saving them. Just get rid of them. Just fry them.
You know what though? As much as that is like frustrating, there was when I worked. I used to do field service for Geek Squad. Like I drove the bug and like would go to people's houses. Yeah. There was a certain like every year at Christmas. I would work like the day before Christmas. Christmas Eve, most people take off, but it was honestly really fulfilling to go to Christmas Eve calls because it was like, hey, I bought this laptop for my kid tomorrow, and you get to set that up and know that like tomorrow morning this kid's going to open this thing up and be super excited about it. So that was like, of all the Geek Squad stuff I ever did, the most fulfilling. It was super great.
Jobs like that seem like they're probably actually really fun to work during the holiday season when you know that people are just generally in a better mood. Yeah. And like when you're not going to, people are just going to give you a lot more slack. Like it's just going to be more fun. Yeah, I mean, that part of, especially around Christmas time, was a lot of fun to do field service in people's homes because you get to like, I don't know, you get to go to different people's houses and see how they celebrate the holiday, like how they decorate and like what they're doing for their kids. But like any other time of year, the in the home job is maybe the most terrifying. Like I remember I had to train a guy that we were bringing on, and we like pulled up to this person's garage and like rung the doorbell, and they were like, oh no, come down to the garage door. And the garage door opened, and it was just like this overwhelming wave of ammonia because the person had 12 cats and had never emptied the litter boxes. Mm-hmm. So you see like that disaster area during most of the year. But then for Christmas, it's really fun. Like you get to basically play Santa. Like who doesn't want to do that? That's super fun to like make kids excited for Christmas. Yeah. I mean, I feel like on almost any job there's definitely, especially around the holidays. I've told this story before. I'm just going to tell this real quick because I just have to, again, I feel like I never paid enough penance for this, but this is when I was working phone support at a software company in Pennsylvania before I moved to California. And this just reminded me because you said work in the holidays, and it should have been easy. I think I was getting paid double time, or I think it was even better. It was better than time and a half. And I was working on Christmas, and I worked in a call center.
and there's literally two of us working, and I think I had like one call at like 10 in the morning, and then right when I was about to leave, I think it was like 5, we were closing up, and I was like, we were just chilling. It was great. We're like, we're getting paid. No one's calling. Everyone's with their families. There's no losers who are trying to actually get work done on their corporate laptops, right? I get this call, the phone. It's like 4:58, and I'm just about to log off my phone, and it rings, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And I pick it up, and it's this. I don't know. It's this guy, and he's like, hey man, and he's starting to go into the problem, and I can tell it's not going to be like a 2-minute like, hey man, let me show you how to reaccess your PST files and Outlook, blah blah blah. It's like a complicated issue that I'm not going to solve. And so
I love the build up.
I know, as he's talking to me, I'm just getting a little upset because I'm like, of course, like I'm so ready to get out of here, like let it sleep. So I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna need to take a look. So I end up remoting into his computer, and I'm sitting next to my buddy, and I mute the phone. Right when I remote into his computer and I start talking, and I'm like, dude, can you fucking believe this? Like, who is working? I'm like, who is working on Christmas? Like, what is this? Does this dude have a family? Like, what? And I'm just going off on this guy. I don't know. I was super pissed, and he wasn't necessarily a bad dude. He was just trying to get something to work that I knew was going to take me a while to help him with. So all of a sudden, my friend gets these like huge, like his eyes just start bugging out, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what? I have him on mute, dude. And he points to my computer, and I forgot that on these I'll never understand the microphones in the fucking computer. But my laptop, I hadn't muted my laptop mic, and when I was remoted in, you could see
there's audio pass through.
Yes, there's a pass through, and everything I'm saying is this guy is just straight up hearing on his laptop.
Fantastic.
And I'm like, and right when I realize I'm like, oh my god.
And then you were fired.
And part of me's like, well, maybe he doesn't have like his speakers on or his sound on. Like maybe he didn't hear me shit talking him for the last like 3 minutes. And I pick up and I literally take him off hold, and I'm like, hello, sir. And his demeanor has totally changed, and not in the way that I wish it would have changed. Like not in the way where he's mad at me. He is dejected. Like I can hear it. He's like, and he's super apologetic, and he's like, dude, he's like, oh man, he's like, I'm so sorry. He's like, I don't really need this solved right now. And now, having known what I said, I'm like, no, dude. I was like, it's no problem, but I mean, it's disingenuous because he has already heard me shit talking for 5 minutes, and I feel so bad. And he's like, no, dude. He's like, no. He's like, I'll call it another day. He's like, no, you. And he like basically like hurries me off the call, like, and he just like ends up hanging up, and I'm like, I can't believe it just happened. So I've never paid enough penance for that. So every time I get an opportunity to tell that story, if you're out there, I don't even remember his name honestly at this point. If you're out there, dude, I'm so sorry. Okay, if you
on the off chance you listen to this podcast somehow.
But anyway, so that was
I felt bad enough that he was working that day.
Exactly, and then I made it feel so much worse. And if you're working a call center, make sure you fucking disable your fucking computer, or if you work on a laptop, get rid of that microphone, dude. Nuke it. It's bad news. Not good, especially when you're remoting. I don't even know. God, this was back when, I don't know, this was probably like 8 years ago now? No, 6 years ago. So anyway, yeah, I thought I would share that. So that's the kind of joy that I used to bring to people when I worked holidays. It made them feel like total shit. Oh, jeez.
Anybody else done stuff that's not gaming related that they want to talk? I think it's everybody, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's everyone. All right. Scott, did you do anything else besides I touring around your specific address?
I went outside.
All right. Well, what have you been playing then? What are you up to, Scott? What's on your game list this week?
So I just beat this last week. I just beat Sleeping Dogs, a brand new title that just came out.
That was Game of the Year 2011, not Dishonored, and we're not going to talk about this ever again.
Exactly. Yeah, it's pretty cool. No, I really enjoyed Sleeping Dogs. I ended up putting about 26 hours in it because I did a lot of the side stuff as well.
Yeah, it's about what it takes to beat.
Yeah, and then I tried the DLC, and holy fuck, the DLC is just fucking garbage in that game. It's really terrible. I really wanted to try it because I didn't want it to end, but like about, I don't know, like 20 minutes into the first one that's supposed to be like considered the good DLC, it was just like dragging and clearly tacked on and terrible.
Like that whole company seems like they're a one-hit wonder game. Like that game, in my opinion, is one of the best open world games you can play. The combat system works really, really well. I agree. The map is huge and it's really fun to explore. The story is really interesting. But like Triad Wars is garbage. It's the absolute fucking worst follow-up ever. and the DLC was not very good either. So good on them for that one fucking awesome game, but shit.
And then I started. I'm playing through the only Grand Theft Auto I've never played through at all, which was Vice City. So I
What?
started that. Yeah, that's the only one. I've played through all the other ones, but I've missed Vice City, and I really like it. Just voice acting and story and talent alone, it's probably starting to become maybe my favorite GTA because there's so much talent on that. I mean,
Yeah.
like a lot of the GTA games, but it's really solid.
Vice City to this day is still my favorite one. I'm actually hoping that after 5 they will revisit
Yeah, that's what a lot of
Vice
people in my chat were saying too. That would be really fun. Then the radio, the talk radio in Vice City.
Laszlo is amazing on that too.
It's
The classic rock station
Yeah.
is a great station.
all the music is really solid. So I'm enjoying that, and then the occasional Counter Strike here and there. So, and also once Hex is helping me, but I'm going to be getting a stream PC from Hex and getting a whole new setup. I'm coming into the 21st century, boys.
It's just going to add hassle to your life, but
It will add hassle, but no, in the long run, it's going to be nice. And so I'm going to be jumping into
the stream PC.
What's up?
What's the resolution for your
480.
PC?
We're doing 480.
yeah, I have a Pentium 3 that
So
I'm going to sell
I'm
them for
thinking
$800.
We're going to be actually just going straight to. We're going to be playing SNES games.
Yeah,
So,
actually, no, I'm gonna sell Scott my old stream PC, which will do 720/60, and he'll be
I'll be
set to go.
Yeah. And then, but so I'll be doing some PS4 stuff, and I'm really excited to do what's it called? Until Dawn, which is like everyone's telling me I need to play.
Really good. Really
Yeah.
good.
So, all right, yeah, that's it for me.
What about you, Brandon? What have you been playing this week?
I played a little Hearthstone. I played a little Rocket League. Trying to warm up, see if I can do some of the Rocket League tournament this weekend for Extra Life.
Cool.
But I played a fair bit of Battlefront, and I guess we can talk about it a little bit. I don't know if others have played it.
Yes, I've played a
played
bunch
it.
of
I
that.
played
have
it for the
not
first
yet.
time today.
I have it downloaded. I have not played it.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it's different enough from Battlefield. Like it definitely doesn't feel like Battlefield exactly, because it's very different. Like the as far as I can tell, none of the guns have ammo. They're all charge based.
Right.
I like it's cool. I don't know if it's I don't know if it would hold me the way that Battlefield did. Like I didn't play a ton of Battlefield, but it was kind of like if people had kept playing it, I would have played a lot of it. So far, like I know they have different modes and stuff. They're only showing off a portion of the game, but I guess it seems fine. It just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't seem. I'm not like shocked at how good it is. I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, it's pretty good.
I mean, as someone who's played a lot of Star Wars games, it is the prettiest Star Wars game I have ever played. Like, it looks amazing.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I would say, like, I tried the intro level, and then they were like, no, well, if you haven't played the game yet, don't play Hoth. And I was like, well, fuck that. After a couple times on that first level, and just went to the Hoth level, and the dark side is super overpowered. Like, it's super easy to get into that AT-AT and just destroy people.
Yeah, so
the rebels are never going to
that
win.
game mode where you have the rebels and then you have the Imperials, where the Imperials have, I guess both sides kind of have like power ups, but you basically just have to go find a power up on the ground,
Right.
and that determines if you're able to get in one of the big vehicles or if you get to become Darth Vader. Like it's literally just you happen to run over something on the ground that gives you these like pretty insane power ups.
Yeah.
Which seems just lazy to me.
Well, see, I was talking to Bob about this earlier today, and part of me really likes that because, like, as someone who's not great at shooters, like, I'm terrible at COD, so I never get to see the high-end kill streaks or, like, the crazy, fun, high-level stuff that you can do. So for those kind of players, I think it's cool that you can just, like, grab a power-up and get, cool, I can drive an AT-AT, or I can, like, fly an X-Wing or whatever. I think that part of it's cool. But the fact that those places you pick them up are static sucks. Like, if they were randomly dropped around the map anytime, like, or if a certain team goal had been met, I think it would be better balanced at that point.
Yeah,
but
it
see,
seems
that's, like,
is it
the
shallow compared? It seems like not necessarily shallow, but much less Battlefield-y from the current Battlefields, right? Like
the
Battlefield 4.
problem I have with that sort of system is that you don't want like random dude picking up your most powerful stuff. Like
That's
if
fair.
if you don't
Yeah.
know how to use Darth Vader, like
Yeah.
you're hurting your team by picking it up and then messing around with it. So like it strikes me as a very like a casual friendly option. Like your
Right.
new player wants to do that stuff, but you look at like Battlefield, you choose whether you want to spawn in the airplane.
Right.
Right. And like if you don't know how to fly the airplane and you spawn in it, your team is going to yell at you because they're like, dude, like you're hurting us. We're
Yeah.
losing because of you. Whereas here, it's like you can't get mad at someone for like having run over a power up and then it turns out to be one that they don't know how to use. So it seems to me like a very casual friendly thing, but
Right. That's what
like
it sounds like.
presumably they want this game to have like a competitive side, and I don't see that. Like nothing I've seen so far tells me that it has a competitive potential at all.
Yeah, but I actually, from like any of the press for the game though, nothing has been mentioned about like, oh, this needs to be competitive, or I think with the Star Wars license specifically, they're going to target a casual audience, like because everyone likes Star Wars. You just want to be able to pick it up and be like, oh, cool. If you think about how the Battle of Hoth worked in those movies, the Empire fucking wins. So they made it OP for the
That's
Empire.
the other thing, yeah. I was just
That
about
doesn't
to say
mean
that.
it's fun though. Like
It is if you're the Empire.
You'll play that like a
Yeah.
couple of times, and you'll be like, "Oh, okay. Well, I don't love being on the other team in this one-sided level. Like,
Yeah.
I just won't play that game mode." That's
Yeah.
the problem. Is if it's not fun and balanced, they'll just like you hope that they'll go find another game mode that they like, but a lot of people will just put the game down. They'll be like, "Well, I didn't have fun with that," and they'll stop playing it.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, in the time that I've played it, when I play the Hoth map, if I don't get Empire, I'm like, well, this is going to be fun, so just fuck it, I'll go play something else. Like, that is my immediate reaction to hopping into Hoth and being like, huh, I'm on the Rebel team. Well, I'm not on, like, a Discord channel or a Mumble channel where I can coordinate with a team. Like, and I've heard, basically, if you have a team of coordinated people where you know who's where and when and why,
You can win.
you can
pretty
win
easy.
as the Rebels. And I think that's great. Like, I think the team building part of it, where it's like, oh, I've got my squad and it's ready to go, that's really cool. But that, for most people, that's not going to happen. Like, you're going to hop in by yourself or maybe with a couple friends, not like a team of 36 for the
Yeah.
Hoth match. Like, that's crazy.
I mean, I've had fun with it, but I don't know that it's something I'd pay $60+ for.
I mean,
And you know that's what they want. They want you to pre-order it, then they want you, like they're probably going to do expansions, same way they've done with Battlefield.
yeah.
And I'm just not I'm not convinced that the game is worth that.
Well, if
from
you
what
click
I've
any of
seen.
their links that are like, hey, pre-order the game now, they automatically direct you to the super premium collector's edition, which is like $80. And Fedsky actually told me, one of the other guys that does streaming for us, that in Canada, it's $90 for the collector's edition that you can pre-order. So
That's insane.
yeah, like these games, at least especially these style of games, the shooters, they're falling into this routine where it's like, oh, well, we want $60 for a multiplayer only experience, and that's not everyone's cup of tea. And we've talked about that previously, especially about COD. Like, if COD was $30 a year for only the multiplayer, I would buy it every year. But $60 for a campaign I'll never touch and about 40 hours worth of fun, I can't do that. And they're releasing Black Ops 3 on old consoles, multiplayer only, because the old consoles can't do it. So where is that version for PC? Like, give me that, please.
Yeah. Until people don't, until sales
Well, is it going to be
show
cheaper
them.
on console if
Yeah.
you're just getting the multiplayer?
I'm sorry?
Is
I
it
don't
going
think
to be cheaper on last gen? with
Yes,
no
it'll be $10
single player?
cheaper on the last gen.
Okay,
so-
okay.
Which is still
$50,
not...
which is still not very cheap.
Like, if it was 40...
Yeah,
or-
yeah.
I would even pay 40 every year for COD's multiplayer, because it is fun for a while with friends, but, like, that $60...
It would be
every
really
year-
interesting to see them do an option where it's like, yeah, if you just want multiplayer, you pay 30 or you pay 40. If you want the full experience, you pay 60 or whatever.
Yeah.
Even 70, right? But obviously they don't want to probably.
Yeah,
set
they could
that
do it
precedent.
too.
But I don't know. I don't know if more people. I agree. Like, because I'm probably not going to play because I just know what happens. Even for me, like, I'm not going to buy the new Black Ops. I won't, because what'll happen is I'll play it for a week or two and then I'll be done. And I totally agree with you, Hex. If they had like that option, I would be a lot more keen. Like, yeah, $30 feels a lot better than dropping 60 and knowing that I'm not going to play it in a month.
All right. Well, let's crank through what everybody else... Katie's in. What are you playing this week?
I also played Battlefront, and I'll say just a bit more on that. I do. It feels fun. It feels like more old school with like the power-ups, and I agree that like Vader and Luke should be rewarded to like good, like the better players on the team. but at the same time, they're not like very hard to use, you know?
Right.
So I could see like not as skilled people using them, but I would still give them like the planes and stuff. But yeah, I enjoy Battlefront. I played over the two modes. I definitely played the one that's where you're going for the escape pods.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. But today was like the first day I played it, so I only have like a couple hours in it, so I'm not too leveled up in it. But yeah, it's fun. But other than that, I played. I got the new Disgaea, which is like a PS4 exclusive strategy RPG. So I won't say too much on that.
Sweet, because it's
But yeah,
a PC gaming
I'm playing the shit out of
podcast,
that.
so fucking take your casual shit elsewhere.
Yeah, I'll take the PS4. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really played that much this week either. I played several hours of the Battlefront beta, which after the first time I played it, I was like, well, this game's garbage and I don't want to touch it again. But then I was just like, well, I'm going to hop in because I know Bob is playing right now and I can shoot him in the face, so that'll be satisfying. And after a few hours, look, I'm a little warmer to it, but I probably still will not end up picking it up. Hutch has also made a good point that it comes out like the week before Fallout 4. So yeah, I'm going to buy Fallout 4 instead. That's where my $60 is going to go. Other than that, I played Sublevel 0 for a couple more hours because I really do want to do an article for that. I actually did a stream for once, which never happens for me. But yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
Barn door?
I think
You already went?
we started with Brandon.
Oh, I'm
Scott.
sorry. I blacked out when Barn door went. This section has been going on so long, I forgot where we started.
Well, cool. We have a good segue, though, because we've all played Star Wars Battlefront. The beta has been extended. So if you are, if you're listening, well, actually, if you're listening to this audio only, it's gonna die the day that our audio goes up. So get home real quick and play the last minutes of it if you haven't. I'm actually happy that it's got a couple more days. I'd like to dip into it a little further and maybe try out the starter mode. But they must have had good response. Like if they're gonna extend it, that's pretty good for them.
I am at least. I will give them some credit for just doing a full open beta.
Yeah.
You know, at least for a few days. Like I would much rather be able to just play what is effectively a demo, without having to pay for it. You know, and being able to actually get a taste of the game. So I wish more games would do that. You know, put out an open beta that at least runs for several days. Like I would love if the open beta ran longer, just to try it out more, play with some friends. You know, see if it's worth my money.
Sure. Yeah.
I like that. I also enjoyed the Black Ops 3 beta because of that.
Yeah, I actually did not play the Black Ops 3 beta.
How long did the Black Ops 3 beta go for?
No, that's a lie.
Didn't
I
it go
did
for
play
like
that.
a week or two? Like
it a
I know
week?
it started on PS4 and then it went to Xbox One and PC.
Yeah, actually, if you had bought any game since the original Black Ops, you got into the beta on Steam
No,
for free.
it was Black Ops 2
Was
onwards.
it 2? Okay.
Yeah.
I had it in my library, and I did end up playing a bunch of it. And, like, it was fun during beta, but it was another one of those games that's like, okay, I kind of see where this is going, but this is not enough of a change in, like, your paradigm for me to spend another $60 on that.
I wouldn't say $60, but I would disagree in that it feels like the most like arcadey Call of Duty, and
Yeah.
that's where like Call of Duty is the most fun. It's when it's the arcade multiplayer shooter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I mean I only had the most fun using the shotguns, which were fucking amazing in that beta.
It felt like with that beta specifically, they had pulled a lot of stuff from other places. Like, the wall running was, like, just right out of Titanfall.
I don't care. It's fun.
Well, Titanfall's going to leave beta sometime soon, you guys, and it's going to be really, really good.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I still play Titanfall. I forgot to mention I played Titanfall as well this week.
96 hours Titanfall this week?
Yeah, I don't even mention it because I have so many hours in it now.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to brag. I mean, that makes sense.
I don't want to brag about it. So, but yeah, that's total sarcasm for people that don't know. But
Yeah, so if you
but I'm
haven't-
sure some people are playing. I think there's probably like 25 people that are probably still playing that.
Yeah, Ches is probably still ranked number 1 on the comp leaderboards for that. Or was that Black Ops 2 that he was...
Did we ever find did Titanfall sell enough, or was it like considered a failure?
No, they have said that they're already working on Titanfall 2, but they have no potential release date or like platforms announced. It's in the works, and it's not a bad game. But
No. I never thought it just meant I just didn't know because of how the build up for it and then how quickly it was over. I just didn't know if they ended up selling.
I feel like that's how every big online shooter at this point works.
Yeah,
if not
you're right.
CS:GO.
You're
Like,
right.
every one of
I
them
feel
is
like because we don't necessarily know either way, they probably didn't they didn't knock it out of the park,
Sure,
but they're
but
not
it's
going to
fine,
tell
yeah.
you they didn't because they still want the next one to be able to be a thing.
I'm typing was Titanfall a financial success into Google, so I'll know in a minute. Go, you guys can continue though.
I picked it up on like, what was it? It was some kind of seasonal sale, and it was $5, and I still never got it because it had like 30 gigabytes of sound data.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the install process for that was like download a ridiculous amount of data and then extract 30 more gigs. And then at one point they gave all of the DLC forever away. It was like, oh, here's all the DLC period free, which was nice. Like, I'm not gonna bitch about free DLC because that's awesome, but
I'm glad I didn't buy it.
It also seemed like a kind of a last-ditch effort with that game. Like, well, maybe if we give this away, people will play it. And it wasn't a bad game. It wasn't very good either. So, anyways, moving on. Riot has asked pro League of Legends players to remove the G2A sponsor logos from its tournaments. So this is kind of a weird one. This is the internet does not seem to be happy about Riot's request for this. Like this affects Cloud9, it affects Counterlogic Gaming, it affects H2K.
They sponsor a lot of the huge, biggest teams.
So
Esports,
that's a lot of merch for the World Championships for them. That's
sure. The thing with Riot is Riot is a company that does whatever they want. Even a lot of times, despite, and I'm not saying that G2A is necessarily in the right or whatever, but Riot is very locked down with how they handle things, and if they want some sponsorship gone or they want something gone, they will get it done. And so I think a lot of the backlash is kind of like, it's like considered like Riot being Riot is kind of what people are saying, because there's been a lot of situations like this where it's just like, if they do kind of rule with an iron fist when it comes to their game and their esport and stuff like that, which again, that is their prerogative, but that seems to kind of be the reaction from a lot of people. They're not.
So what was the reasoning behind removing G2A? Like, what was the reason?
I had read that like there were some people selling like boosted accounts or boosting services or something on G2A.
Oh. Yeah, that was what. Yeah,
that's Riot has generally taken a very strong stance against.
Yeah. And this is really not the first time the G2A has run into trouble. Like other game developers are pissed off at them because they sell keys for their games cheaper than what you might buy them on Steam or like some other venue. And there are obviously other, like Green Man Gaming does the same thing.
Kinguin had a similar thing that they talk about in the article where they dropped a bunch of sponsorships recently.
So it happens. And I understand Riot's point of view from this. Like, this is our game. Like, this is how we want it to run. This is how we want our stuff to run. We don't think you're doing it this way. But, like, it also, that kind of sucks. Like, if these sponsorships exist, that's a lot of money for possibly these players or potentially the venues. I don't know. I don't follow League. I'm not a League player. I fucking hate MOBAs. Fuck you, Feds.
I don't think it's not a League of Legends specific thing. I think Riot can take this action because they do have so much control over their league, and they are salarying the players in the league and everything. So they have the agency to say, you're not going to put this logo on your jersey anymore. Right. People may not like it, but they can do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas other leagues are not necessarily centrally run, so there's not a body saying, "Hey, you can't put this on your jersey." But I think I would be surprised if Riot is like the only. I'm pretty sure they're not the only like publisher that feels this way. Like G2A has a bunch of kind of like gray markety type stuff on there that I have to imagine most of the companies are not super happy with.
Well, and I think coming back to the Riot thing, I agree with you, Brandon, but someone in the chat just pointed out this as well, that part of the reason is that, on G2A side, G2A is saying, listen, we did everything Riot said, and then Riot's coming back with that we know we still can't have a deal. And so what it feels like is, like, this is what I'm saying, is that Riot wanted G2A gone regardless, whether it's for the gray market and all the other kind of stuff. They just didn't want them.
But G2A is going to say that regardless.
Right.
Oh, sure.
Right? Like, G2A is going to try and come out and say, like, look, we tried to work with them. So, obviously they're going to try and spin the PR their way, but the fact remains that, like, you can go on G2A and find this sort of thing. Like, it's...
Oh, yeah.
I think both sides have probably legitimate points, but ultimately, like, Riot is very much in the business of protecting kind of the look and integrity of their league, and I have a feeling like I don't think they are necessarily the only ones that feel this way. They're just the ones who can actually take action against it and say, look, like, we're not going to allow this branding on our league, and that's their call.
Oh yeah, they can absolutely do it. Riot does what Riot wants, and like you said, we don't really run into this because of, like you said, Riot's kind of not an outlier, but one of the few that has like you said, it comes down from the top, and they're like, we can do what we want. But
yeah, I mean they've got friends in high places, so they can basically do what they want with their
yeah,
game.
well, they run the most popular game in the world,
Right.
So
It makes sense.
Well,
do whatever
and they run the league. In most
Yeah.
other games, the publisher is not running the league. So like Valve wouldn't necessarily come in and say like you can't brand CS:GO tournaments with G2A because Valve isn't actually running them.
Sure.
Now they might step in and say like we're not gonna let you, or like we're not gonna help fund a tournament. Like we won't let a major run with G2A branding. That might happen, but that's like very, very few publishers actually like control their esports scene as tightly as Riot does.
Exactly.
But I wouldn't be surprised if this has some sort of ripple effect, like in other scenes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So moving on from that, Star Citizen, the Squadron 42 module has finally announced their voice acting cast, and it's got some big players. Gary Oldman, Gillian Anderson, and Mark Hamill are all contributing voices to Star Citizen. So now you know where all those millions of dollars that people gave them went.
I never
these
heard of
people.
any of these people. Were any of these people on the Disney Channel? In the
Gary
last 10
Oldman
years, or-
started on
Gary
the-
Oldman.
yeah.
Is he on?
He was on...
That's So Raven, right? He
Yeah,
did some
That's So
voice work
Raven.
for them.
He was the butler on That's
He
So
was
Raven.
yeah. He was never on screen. He was the butler behind.
You kind of heard him off screen in the kitchen, like "Dinner's ready, sir," and then okay, that was it, and you never saw him. Gillian Anderson was on a very small show that ran on Fox for about one season called X Files.
X Files, right? Yeah, it was kind
didn't
of
do very
flop.
well. And Mark Hamill, I think he was an ice skater. I'm pretty sure he was. An
Oh,
ice
that's
skater.
right.
Mark
He's the
Hamill
one who got
was,
hit with the beam in his ankle and it got broke during
Yeah.
the Olympics. Mark Hamill. Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Mark Hamill from the Naked Brothers band, or
Well, he did that. That was a side project for him. So
okay.
How many? What did is Star Citizen the one that had the most funding of any game ever? Or
it's
is
made
that
like $70 million in
Okay.
crowdfunding at this point. It
That's
started
the
on
one.
Kickstarter, and then they did like a post Kickstarter like crowdfunding, and they've made
That's
more
right.
money than ever. It's what's his face that did the Wing Commanders? That his name just went out of my
Yeah,
head.
that's right.
Crap, I can't believe his name went out of my head.
It's all right.
yeah,
No one cares about Wing
it's
Commander
him.
anymore.
Yeah, well, Mark Hamill was in Wing Commander 3 or 4. I don't know. I have it in my Origin library.
I saw, speaking of Star Citizen, I'm going to put this in chat, but I saw Jeff Gersman's tweet out this the other day. The Completionist package. You can have the Completionist
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ!
for a measly $15,000.
Whoa.
That's more than my what? Like, what does that give you? Like, does
I mean,
does
I'm
the
scrolling
dev
through the
come
ships.
and
There's a lot of
blow
ships.
you?
I'm not gonna lie, but
But I mean, oh well, it comes with the
When
Star
I saw
Citizen
that, I
digital
was
novella.
like, you know what? This game is never going to be for me.
No.
Like, clearly this game is never going to be for me.
I mean, well, it does give you beta access. That's pretty nice. I mean, you get that beta for 15,000.
Listen. I can really try to put a down payment on a house I want to get, or I can get into the Star Citizen beta, and I think I know what my financial advisor is going to tell me. Go all in.
I mean, if you're
Star Citizen.
if you've been waiting for the next big space sim or whatever, I mean, I guess I get it. I don't. I literally don't. I love video games, and $15,000 to buy into anything ever, like that's.
Lauren just said this is a 1%er game, and I couldn't agree more. If you're in the top 1%, this is for you.
It just seems like
That's nuts.
when this game was announced, I wanted to be super stoked for it, and then Elite Dangerous came out and was playable within like a reasonable amount of time with the features they had said, like, okay, we're gonna do this, and you
And
can
we talked
play
about
it.
this in previous podcasts, but there's just no way, no matter how good this juggernaut of a game is when it comes out, and it will constantly be worked on, I'm sure, for the next however many years when it's available. You know, when you set up expectations with something like that high, it's in human nature, right, to not be fully satisfied. Like, it could be really good, and people will still be like, eh.
No, a game
Not
that has a
worth it.
$15,000 pre-order can never be good
Well,
enough to validate
yeah,
that
sure,
cost.
15,000.
Like, ever. That's
I'm
not a
just
thing
saying
that can
in
happen.
general by the time this thing actually gets going. You know what I mean? People are actually playing it regularly.
Right, and actually, I agree. Like, I think there's some people in chat right now that are saying No Man's Sky is going to piss on them. Like, that is a game that has promised, like, 18 quintillion planets for
that's
you
true,
to explore by yourself, and will launch, I would assume, at, like, $30 to $50, because it's Hello Games who makes, like, the stuff like Joe Danger, and their games are really fun, and it seems like the guys that work there are cool. But, like, that game, it seems like a better experience. Who would, like, you're gonna get that game for $40 and have infinite planets to explore, and you're gonna have Star Citizen where you can pre-order it for 15,000, and you'll have whatever they decide to give you. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we'll see how that plays out.
I didn't mean to trigger everyone.
I mean, you a little bit. You triggered everyone.
That was a good trigger, Brandon.
See, that could have been our entire Let's Get Mad this time. It's
That's true. It could have been that. We should have done
Good
that.
thing we have more to get mad about.
We have even more to get salty about. But before we do that, Bethesda, well, maybe we should be salty about this too. If you watched E3 this year, especially our shitcast for E3 coverage, Bethesda apparently has some concerns about Battlecry, which you may remember as the game that a very sad outfit had to show off between Doom 3 and Fallout 4. Like, how do you...
What a promising game.
Yeah.
They're afraid that it will not live up to the quality standards that Bethesda has come to expect, which that seems like kind of maybe an overstatement from them because some of their games are buggy at launch. But if you watched E3, it was not a game that instilled a lot of confidence or like a big draw. Like, I watched the Twitter feeds and was just like, oh, cool, and now I can take a nap before they announce Fallout 4 because it's just another... I mean, it's Overwatch, it's Battleborn, but by a company that's not really known for those type of games. So, understandably, they have some concerns. They're still moving forward with it, apparently, but they're not sure that it's quite where it needs to be.
I think basically I read into this like don't expect it to come out anytime soon.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the good side of this, you would hope, is like if it's not meeting their internal standards, then that means. Like, well, they're just not going to put it out until they think it's.
And you know what the response, Brandon?
They have to think it. They have to think it's good before, like, they think we will think it's good.
But
So,
Brandon, think about all the really concerned Battlecry fans out there, dude, who aren't going to get their game, dude. Like, think about them. Right now, if Nikon was here, he could play the crickets sound effect for the Battlecry fans.
All 9 people.
Or
are
like people,
super into
yeah,
it.
that are really excited. Like,
The thing was, if you looked at it at
everyone's
E3,
just like, yeah, okay.
like the footage they showed looked really early. The character animations were not very good. Like, the concept of the game was incredibly basic, even compared to something like Overwatch. And not to Bethesda's downside. Like, they've had other bigger games in development, so like if that was like a side project, that makes sense. But then why would you choose to announce it when you're announcing your biggest games like Doom or Fallout 4?
yeah, I mean, I think like that. Of course, it's not going to compare to games that have the legacy of Doom and Fallout. Like, I think it's good that they're making a new IP. Like, that's already kind of a risk when they could just bet on their big franchises that they know are going to be successful. But like, no, there's been like so little hype about this game. It seems like almost no one cares about it, and maybe it is best for them to, you know, kind of like rethink some of it and launch it. I don't know, maybe at a less crowded time, put some polish on it, change the direction of it. Like, it just seems Battlecry seems like a game that I actually couldn't even tell you like what the game is. I can't remember if I've played it because I feel like there are a lot of games that kind of seem like it or are named like it.
Yeah.
And I like it seems it just is like it like blends in with everything right now.
Yeah, like with Battleborn, that's the big one from the developer's went out of my head.
Gearbox.
Yeah, Gearbox. And it looks really good. Like, we saw it at PAX Prime, and it looks fun, and people were super excited for it. It's in that vein of game. Overwatch from Blizzard is obviously a big draw that people are excited about, and it falls into that same kind of pattern of like squadron-based shooter games, but it doesn't look good in comparison. So I hope they give it a
just say I think Battlecry is a bad name.
It is. It's a bad game. It's a bad game name.
Yeah.
Isn't Battlecry just multiplayer and Battleborn is single player?
No, Battleborn is the same type of game. Like, they're both like a squad-based shooter capture. Like, it's they're the same. They're the same type of game, and they have a very similar name. And one looks like Battleborn looks pretty good. I actually just got a message the other day about like, hey, maybe you'll get into the beta test. I'm looking forward to playing that. Battlecry, after seeing it, not so much. So we'll see. But let's move on to a couple quick hits real quick. Speaking of League of Legends, we talked about earlier, League of Legends quarterfinals are going to be aired on BBC this year.
What?
Yeah, so
Get ready for a lot of angry British people on the Twitters.
They're going to be confused.
Yeah.
So they're gonna air that on BBC as well as live streaming on I believe the BBC's website. We talked about this, was it last week or the week before? We talked about CSGO being on TBS, so this is more esports being on general television. Whether that's a good thing or not,
We'll see. I don't know. I just I still don't understand the trying to push push the esports into the older style, media formats. I don't know.
yeah,
It could be
especially
good. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily bad. I just don't. I feel like the experiment is constantly being tried. I guess it's good. I guess it's good for esports in the sense of, it's more visibility. Maybe there'll be a few people that'll be like, hey, this is interesting. But by and large, I feel like until that older generation dies off and people, you know what I mean? That, not to say that I'm hoping that they die off, but eventually it'll just be, the kids that are growing up now, esports and, competitive gaming is just synonymous with like what they grew up with. So
right.
It'll change. I don't know if forcing it down people's throats who don't really care about it, who are still alive, really matters.
I think it comes back to like what we talked about when we talked about CSGO and TBS. I think that this old medium, well, not even old, it's a modern medium. Television is now trying to grapple with the fact that more and more people are watching things online, and they're not quite sure how to do that. Hint,
right.
It's put your regular content on your fucking website to watch at the same time.
Yeah.
So
but
then
that would eat into their,
it would to an extent, but they're trying to attract a group of people that are web savvy.
Sure.
To their older platform, which not a lot of people are going to do. So, like, put your regular content online rather than taking online content and put it back into your old format is what I would think is the better decision.
I think it's that complicated, but...
Well,
I will be glad when we just have, like, more of this happening on TV so that it's not news every time.
That's a good point, too.
It's so... At least to me, like maybe I'm biased because obviously, like I work.
Well, you're definitely biased, but
I work for a streaming platform. But like it's like, why? Okay, let's take this content that like there's a big audience for already, and let's put it on this like region locked TV platform so that like a handful of people can watch it there.
Yeah,
right.
It's like all of the people that can watch it there can already watch it. So it's just like it seems. I don't know. I'm curious what the motivation is aside from just like, well, here's what the kids are watching, so we need to like start putting it on our stuff. Like it's good. I think TV gives it legitimacy in kind of the traditional media's eyes, but in terms of people actually watching it, it's like who is going to watch it over the places they can already watch it?
Right. Like I don't again, it's the whole legitimacy thing. Like I don't need traditional media validating esports. Look at the money, look at the growth. Like we already have it. We have we have proven that esports is very successful, was born online and is online. Like
the other thing, if I can just like rant for a second, the other thing is this content, like the esports content right now is generally all available for free.
Exactly.
Do you really want the
pay-per-views are coming.
Do you want legitimacy where like you can't watch your NFL team because the tickets didn't sell out, so the game's blacked out? Like, do you want the all of the awful things that come with real legitimacy where like you can't watch programming you want?
Oh yeah, that's
no, that's true. No, if you're totally right, Brandon, that's gonna be coming. Like, if it's successful in any form.
If you're if you're a hockey fan, for example. If you don't have cable and you want to do NHL's like game center or whatever, if it's a local game, like you can't fucking watch it because it's blacked out by other networks. Yeah. That's insane. Like Dan used to do that. He would VPN into another state to watch a Penguins game because it was blacked out on the NHL's official fucking way to watch your hockey game. That's insanity.
Yeah. I just like people need to be careful what they wish for. Because I think right now is actually the best we can hope for, where there's a lot of great content happening all the time. You can watch it free worldwide.
Yep.
And like the entrenched media market does not work that way. So I worry about when I see, older media companies coming in and wanting to show this stuff. Like a lot of people are so desperate for the added legitimacy that kind of the news of them carrying this big tournament or whatever offers. Right. But like, the future there could be actually way worse from a fan experience perspective than what we have now.
Yeah, I totally agree. I can't wait. Listen, to be honest, I cannot wait till HBO does the pay-per-view. It's going to be Fatality versus Pasha Biceps 1v1 on AWP India, and it's going to be crazy, and it's going to be $60, and it's going to be, you're going to go in, everyone's going to pay a little bit. They're all going to come over to your house. They'll give you $5 so you can pay the $60, and That's the future, Brandon. I agree. I think we're going there. No, I mean, but in all seriousness, yeah, you got to be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Again, we don't need the legitimacy of old media. I don't,
Yeah.
we don't need it.
No, we have the internet. We're happy with that.
There's just a little bit of money being made in esports, just a bit, just a little bit.
Yeah,
Fine.
I mean, what the invitational or the international gets like what $12 or $14 to give away every year to the biggest Dota players. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
there's no money behind internet esports.
Just let us make our peanuts over here, guys.
All right, CD Projekt Red, Arthur Quick Hit, has said that Cyberpunk 2077 is far bigger than The Witcher 3, which if you've played The Witcher 3, that game is ridiculously enormous. I personally am really excited for Cyberpunk 2077. That's a really cool universe to experience a game in. And as much as I like old school, like traditional D&D style RPGs like Witcher 3, I'm pretty excited for a far-flung future one from CD Projekt Red. I don't know how big that means that game will be. It's actually kind of terrifying to think about how large that game will be.
It might just be them saying that is like, what should do is big, but our new game is gonna be bigger.
Well, the thing that makes me think that there's some validity to that statement is they've already said, well, we're not even going to really talk about this game for 2 more years. So think about how far PC hardware could go in the next 2 years and how big that game could be as a result. Like, that could be a staggeringly large game.
Yeah, this game is still so far out that, like, I believe them, but I also have no idea what that actually looks like because there are so few real details about the game.
I like that trailer, that slow-mo trailer with the sexy robot girl, right?
I was gonna say, I mean, I like the art with like the kind of mechanical girl with blood all over her. Like, I think that's cool imagery. But it doesn't actually tell me what the game is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game that we're probably not even going to hear any real details about until next E3, but knowing CD Projekt Red's track record with RPGs, I'm preemptively excited for it. This seems like a really big promise to make. Like, oh yeah, this is so much bigger than our last ridiculously huge game. See if they deliver on that.
I mean, I think what I hope and what it seems like is CD Projekt Red will hopefully continue. Like, Witcher 3 allows them to make another big bet. Like, they've made enough money off of that they can afford to take their time with their next game. And I would love to see their reputation turn into, like, they release big games very occasionally, almost like a Rockstar type reputation, where like they don't necessarily release a lot of games, but when they do, they're going to be worth your money. Like, they're going to be polished. And that's what I hope for out of this game is I don't care how long it takes, but just impress me the way you impressed me with Witcher 3.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Another Cyberpunk game that's really early in development is the new game from the Lords of the Fallen devs, The Surge, which is another Cyberpunk kind of, like, we've only got some concept art at this point, but I would love to play a Cyberpunk Souls kind of game.
Yeah, that would maybe get me to play a Souls game for more than about 6 hours. Like, I've put about 6 or 7 hours into the original Dark Souls, and I'm like, well, this is definitely not for me. And not that I don't, like, I understand why people like it, and I think that Sean, our web dev, makes a really good point, saying, like, if you took the original Zelda and games developed and evolved from that, like, if the Zelda franchise had evolved the same way from its first game, you would have Dark Souls Zelda. Because if you go back and play the original Zelda on NES, it's brutal. Like, you can go anywhere you want. You can kind of, like, you can find the last dungeon before you even find the first one, and that's a lot of how Dark Souls works. So if you were looking for, like, that original Zelda-esque experience, Dark Souls is really your best possible game to go to, but it's also very daunting for new players.
Well, let's talk about Lords of the Fallen. That, compared to a Souls game, is very, very, like, streamlined and more casual. Well, casual in the sense that you can't go everywhere that you want to. You have to go one area at a time. Which, I'm not saying that, like, I want the Surge to be, like, easy with its Cyberpunk, or, like, more restrictive,
Yeah, but, that makes sense. And we'll see what comes from it. So.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick 90-second break, and we'll be right back, and we'll get pissed off about other stuff, because we haven't done that enough so far.
We've actually already been triggered pretty well by, like, 2 Esports on BBC and the tweet that Brandon had about Star Citizen's 15K package, so
yeah,
this is pretty solid.
Let's just be angry for the rest of the cast.
I'm down. Anger is something I love tapping into.
Just tap right in. All right, guys, we're going to run a commercial for 90 seconds. We'll be right back.
Oh, man.
Did you play any Lords of the Fallen, Hex?
crap, I knew you were going to ask me something as soon as I started to go away. No, I didn't actually.
Oh, okay.
Wow, Katie, he's trying to go away, dude. He's done.
Dude,
Fine.
I need to pee.
Okay, just go.
Leave me alone. Fuck
Go
you,
ahead.
Jesus.
Get out. Okay, now we can talk about him. Did he leave? Oh yeah, I can see. He's gone. No, he didn't play any Lords of the Fallen. He's a pussy for not liking Dark Souls, dude. Even though I've never touched Dark Souls, and I know that I would.
I'm waiting on the stream one day.
God, one day.
I don't
man.
care how cancer the chat is. It's gonna happen.
I just wouldn't look at the chat if I ever played Dark Souls. I would just I would have you with me or something, maybe in a Skype call, and then when I'd be like really stuck, you could
I
be
can
like,
fly
"All right,
over.
do this," or yeah, do that. Just sit with me. I feel like a couch stream with you playing Dark Souls with me, I would have fun, but playing it by myself, I don't know. I don't know if that would be fun.
Even on your own time, like not on stream. Just,
Or yeah, maybe I would
Yeah.
do that. Brandon, you never played Dark Souls, have you? Did you ever play that franchise?
I have not played Dark Souls.
Oh my fuck.
It's one of those games that I've heard so much about it, and I know the reputation it has, and I know people like are religious about that game. And I
Yeah.
told myself I wasn't going to play the first one because like the second one was about to come out. And I was like, I don't really want to play the first one and have to like use DS Fix and sort of figure out all of the ways you make the first one playable on PC. And the second one came out, and people were like, "Oh, the first one's better." You know, like that's the
Yeah.
true. You get like your factions of people when it comes to franchises like that.
Yeah,
And I've
that's
just
me.
basically, yeah, I've never. It's easy for me to just not play it when I don't know what I'm missing. You know,
Yeah.
I've watched
Yeah.
people play
Same.
it. I've never actually played it myself.
You know, I would say that DS Fix is relatively like simple to get going, but it's yeah, I get what you're saying. You'd rather just go right
It's
into
also
it.
like the thing is for me, it's similar to The Witcher. Like I didn't play Witcher 1 or 2, but then the third one came out and the hype was so big by then that
Oh, yeah.
I bought The Witcher 3 and I played through it and I've enjoyed my time with it. I've only like, I don't know, 20, 25 hours in. I haven't gone back to it. But it's one of those games that I feel like I can wait until one, like a refined experience on PC that everyone thinks is like as good as the original one.
Well, hopefully with Dark Souls 3, it's looking like that.
Yeah, well, who knows? That the third one a lot of times is that like it's refined and it's kind of
Yeah.
comes back to the promise of the original. Like I would love to play Dark Souls. It's just that it's easy for me to ignore it until the next one comes out or something.
Yeah.
It
I
seems
mean,
like they're
gotcha.
The other thing that could happen is it could be Mass Effect, where the second one is the best one, and then I have to worry about the third one.
That's another franchise.
Could be Dead Space, where one's really good, two's the best, and then 3 is just a giant middle
garbage.
finger. Oh, I could. Ugh.
Yeah. All right. Well.
All right, well, yeah, let's get into the.
Let's dive into why we're mad this week.
I mean,
Let's get
we're-
more pissed than we already are.
Yeah. This one's great. This one's just great because of the kind of insanity of. Anyway, I'll
Yeah.
just read
crazy.
Metal Gear Online insurance microtransactions. Insurance
the fuck
microtransactions
is
Yes.
for your virtual stuff.
You can buy with real money the
Real
ability
money.
to make sure that your fictional place that you go back to is secure because you're
So-
too lazy to play the game.
So basically,
So
you can
people
raid.
who haven't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you get your
I was
base
gonna throw it
raided.
in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So a mechanic in Metal Gear Solid 5 is that you can invade other people's bases and take their stuff, and people can do the same to you. And basically, what you're doing with this insurance policy microtransaction is it's a monthly fee, right? It's like an insurance policy periodically paid to if someone raids your base and takes your supplies, you keep all of your supplies like they're duplicated. They get what they've taken, but nothing happens to you.
That's
Get that
the
insurance.
So if you care
dumbest
that
fucking
much,
scheme.
That's pretty nutty. You know what they should have done though? They really should have tied this into like a real insurance company, like Geico, or they missed a huge
They
opportunity.
missed a sponsorship opportunity.
Yeah, dude, State Farm or something. Like they could have
Allstate.
really gone all out, and then like somehow.
Like
Yeah,
let us give you a free quote and you get 3 months of in-game insurance for
That's
free.
what I mean. An insurance company somewhere really dropped the ball when Metal
the
Gear
store page,
stopped
are
working.
you in good hands?
Yeah,
That's truly a terrifying future.
God.
Like,
You know,
it doesn't like. It would make even a little bit more fundamental sense if the person that raided your base didn't actually get to keep everything? Like,
Right.
it's just
Yeah.
you're
also
paying
a
for item dupes.
No. That is like.
I mean, that's how
it is
insurance
real
works.
insurance.
Yeah, like
They get
that's
to keep what, like, when
That's
someone
true. That
steals
is
from you, if you have like a valuable property insurance
a good point.
policy, someone steals something from you, they just reimburse you for for replacing it.
yeah.
So I
Yeah,
get the
that's
premise makes sense, but I feel like this is
Scary precedent.
it's like too far into the realm of real life. It's one of those things that like you think is interesting and cool because it mimics the way real life works, but then you realize that like I'm not going like how ridiculous is it that I'm going to pay real money so that I don't lose my virtual items?
Right, exactly.
And
like
I think it would be fine if you can pay whatever the currency is in game for this, but it's from what I can tell only a paid service. Like that's the problem I have is when it's very clearly, from what I can tell, it's very clearly a money grab.
I mean,
Yeah.
there are games that do in-game insurance really well. Like the most shiny example I can think of how in-game insurance works, at least in my limited playtime with it, is EVE Online. Like, you take out insurance on your ship. If your ship gets blown up in low-sec space, you have enough money to buy a new ship, and you keep playing the game. That works really well.
But you pay for that with in-game currency, no?
And that's why it works well, because you're using ISK to pay your insurance policy off. Like, it's not like you can pay... Well, can you buy ISK with money? I can't remember. It's been so long since I played EVE. But... like, you're not... it's not like, okay, well, for $5 a month, we'll insure every ship that you buy. Like, no. You pay with the in-game currency.
I don't have a problem with insurance as a concept in a game
Sure.
that is going to be persistent. Like, I think especially in MMO or something, or, I mean, like EVE, it makes sense. Like, you would take out an insurance policy because you're, like, living a certain thing in the game. It can make sense. Yeah. But I think saying, like, hey... the only way you can get this insurance is by giving us real money every month is where it absolutely breaks down for me.
Right. Yeah,
because that's saying, like, it doesn't matter how much you play the game. Because, like, with people that play EVE, I have to imagine a lot of the people playing EVE all the time, same as, like, the people that play WoW. Like, when you can get in-game time through playing the game can just become free because you're spending so much time in it that like you have extra money to spend on things like insurance or like buying in-game time for yourself. But this is just saying like it doesn't actually matter how much you play. You still have to pay us for this insurance service.
Yeah, and I think chat makes a good point that Konami just has basically given their middle finger to the games industry at this point. Like they're gonna go make pachinko machines. That they've already announced like a Metal Gear Solid 5 themed pachinko machine.
No, I think you're thinking of the Silent Hill slot machine that came out right after, hot off the cancel of PT, or the cancel of Silent Hills.
I am 99% sure that they have said there's gonna be a Metal Gear one as well. Like,
really?
Yeah,
I'll
like
play the shit out of that.
They're already ready to be like, well, fuck you. We want your money from slot machines, and now we want your money from the game in the exact same way, and that's super shitty.
Maybe this is just a joke, and they don't think anybody's going to do it.
Also,
you know,
like,
who knows?
I don't know. With Metal Gear 5, I like Metal Gear as a franchise. I think Metal Gear is a great franchise, and I admittedly only finished the first two, played some of the third one. Nothing about 5 that I've seen people stream or I've seen people talk about make me think it's a Metal Gear game. Like, it does not make me want to play it at all.
Go, yes.
KBZen
Go ahead.
just had an aneurysm.
I got nothing. You know.
You agree, or you don't have?
I immediately disagree, but nothing immediately comes to my head. Like, I think about the cardboard boxes, and I think about the water gun that you can spray in guards' eyes, and I think about if you throw a magazine and it hits their head, it'll knock out a guard. Stuff like that is Metal Gear to me.
All those little elements of Metal Gear are there. Like those little cool things from Metal Gear exist in the game,
but
and that's really awesome.
About story and stuff, right?
Well, not even demonstrably about story, but like I always go back to the original, like Metal Gear Solid. Well, not the original. Metal Gear Solid for the PS1. It was a very specifically stealthy game. Like the way that the stealth worked in it was, I mean, revolutionary for the time. But watching people play Metal Gear Solid 5, it doesn't seem like that kind of stealthy game, and that's what I expect.
Oh, no. Okay.
Is it?
So you haven't played Metal Gear Solid 5?
Are we now getting mad about something else?
Yeah, we've transitioned to being angry about other things now.
Section?
I was going to say, honestly, I've got about 40 hours in, and if you're going to... fuck. Of course the option's there to go loud, but it's terrible. It's much easier to go stealth. I guarantee you that the focus on stealth is still there.
Okay.
And like you're not going to go into a mission with a fucking minigun in Metal Gear Solid 5.
And see, maybe that's where my disconnect is that most of the things that I've seen of people playing Metal Gear are like the go in guns blazing thing. Like, okay, that's not what I want. I want a Metal Gear game that like, and I played Ground Zeroes, and that felt to me like, okay, if I get caught, I'm literally fucked. Like I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I didn't see a lot of that from who I've watched play Metal Gear Solid 5, and I admittedly have not played that game because I haven't yet. I don't have time to play that game. It doesn't look bad.
It's a very time-consuming game.
It just doesn't seem, from what I've watched of people play or read about it, like the same experience I would have from Metal Gear Solid 1. And maybe it's just that the game has evolved since like when I was super into it.
I would agree with that.
So
If
let's
get back to what we're actually mad about.
If I can, I want to read a line here from the Konami page.
Oh boy.
That I don't know why it makes me as mad as it does.
Oh god.
But it just says, your FOBs are always at risk of coming under attack. And then in bold, now you can rest easy with FOB insurance paid service.
Oh
God. Yeah, that's pretty rough.
yeah, that's just anger inducing.
Jeez.
It's worth mentioning that while this like service is available with Metal Gear Online, the FOB stuff is completely separate from the squad-based like multiplayer online, like Metal Gear Online.
You're right.
This is like event missions in the game. So.
Okay.
Also, I mean, it is like real insurance because there's things that are not covered that we should also mention. So it really is mirroring real insurance. Abductive staff being held in the brig are not covered. Wounded staff use in defense of the FOB, and nuclear weapons.
Man, doesn't cover nuclear weapons.
Which is a pretty big...
A carve-out clause for nukes.
I mean, is there like an extended package that I can purchase to protect my nukes? Like, I will pay the extra insurance for my nukes.
Oh, man.
Well, Konami, thankfully, is not the only shitty game company that's trying to make money off of microtransactions where they don't belong. Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is an Xbox One exclusive for at least 6 months, and will eventually come to PC, which is already a shit in the face for PC gamers for the last game that came out on all platforms at all times that just got bought into timed exclusivity, has announced that there will be 300 different microtransactions for you to play the game with. In case you really hate unlocking things in a game and experiencing them as you would naturally do so, you just throw some money at it and then go faster through the game. That is staggering.
Yeah. Yeah.
KBMOD just shit himself.
Yeah.
Just reading this. Ruined
I just
my
noted,
chair.
did your camera just turn off, or has it been off for a while?
It's been off for a while.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's been off. It started glitching. I just turned it off.
Okay.
I mean,
the thing to mention here though is that these can be acquired with in-game currency. So I'm going to withhold most of my judgment here, just because if like they can be bought when there's 300, these aren't going to be like crazy expensive. So
Sure.
if they're just things you can buy a bunch of with in-game currency, but then they're like, I don't know, 20 cents each, or like you can buy 50 of them for a few dollars or something. Like, I don't know. It all depends on the pricing and like how they actually set it up.
so here's the thing about this specific article that really frustrates me about this is that there are two different types of these customization cards. Basically, the way that's going to work is you buy customization cards for your Lara Croft in your game, and the way that you use them changes your play experience. So there's two different kinds. There's like a hollow foil rare Charizard card that you would have wanted when you were like 12. Like that you can buy and you can use it. That provides the strongest or strangest effects. Then they have unlimited uses. So you buy them once, which leads me to believe they will be more expensive, probably significantly so. And they make you Superman, essentially. But then there are also less powerful common cards, which you use once, which means I think I could see where that could be a good idea. Like, man, I'm really stuck at this one point of the game. I just want to pay like $1 and get past it because I really am into the story or into the gameplay. Okay, I could see maybe a little bit of that. But this just... this irks
cringe,
me.
but
like,
yeah.
it rubs me
I was
the
going to
wrong
say,
way.
I actually have more of a problem with that than
Yeah,
anything.
I can't get past
Yeah.
even that.
I have a problem with any time you're paying for something that's like limited use in the game.
Right.
Oh, this whole schema for this game, it's already insulting enough it's not being launched on all platforms, considering it was on all platforms last time. But this is just... It's gross. It's just gross.
Yeah, it's pretty... It's one of the more kind of just, in your face, like Like, I don't know how they expect. I don't know who this news is for. I mean, I don't know. Again, I guess we'll have to see. Like, how recently was this announced? This was on the 7th. So I don't know if it'll be like a lot of backlash or people give enough shit about the Tomb Raider franchise anymore to be like, this is ridiculous. But yeah, just even you saying that, Hex, you being like, yeah, if you can't get past this part, you can buy an item to like. I can't do that.
There have definitely been games.
I can't beat the game.
There have
$1.
There have been games that I have like
too hard.
Gotten to a point and been like, fuck it, I don't care. But maybe if I could have spent like, I don't know, a quarter to beat a fucking boss, like something super cheap, maybe I would have done that. But still, it's so scummy.
You're
I don't like that at all.
That is, you are wrong.
That's
that is
even worse.
That is like the
cheaper.
actual worst thing, because then here's the thing. Because then the developer is incentivized to make things hard to beat, so you have to spend money.
See, I can see that.
I don't disagree with you conceptually that, like, yes, there are some times where I might pay a small amount of money to pass a hard part in a game, but it's the fact that, like, once you've accepted that as like a thing that you can put in the game, the developer then has a perverse incentive to make the game harder so that you have to spend money.
See, that I did not consider, and now that you've said that, I completely agree with you. Like, oh yeah, you're right. No, everyone would it would be like old arcade games. Like, this is so impossible. Give me another quarter to give it a shot. Give me 46 quarters to beat the original Metal Slug. Like that. Yeah, I now understand.
That's the funny thing is that, like, there are actually a lot of parallels between free to play and like old arcade machines where there like is an incentive to make you spend more quarters, and so you make the game harder so that you can make more money.
Yeah,
like that's I think that's
that
a slippery slope.
Quarters.
Well,
blow through the game.
I mean, Chad has a good point. Do it the cheaper way. Like, if that's how you're going to play your game, just watch someone else play it. Like, watch it on Twitch. Watch a Let's Play. And don't even pay for the game at that point. Ugh. This is gross, and I don't like it. I'm just sad now.
Can I just point out the clickbait as fuck PC Gamer article? PC Gamer confesses our secret shame. Do you guys see that to the right?
Oh, I saw it. I clicked on it. I'm actually clicking. It literally worked on me. They got my click, and it's just all of them saying the stuff that they're not proud of when it comes to games. Like, one guy hates all the Diablo games. One guy doesn't care what the FPS is in a game as long as it's above 30.
One guy hates single player. Like,
I really thought, but that's a pretty solid clickbait because I'm all in, dude.
I definitely read this article like the day it was online because
did you?
I stupidly have Facebook and B follow them on Facebook, and it popped up and was like, oh, well, fuck, I'm gonna fall for clickbait and read this. And I was like,
just click on it.
I think the lesson from both of these characters. The lesson from both of these stories, I think, is you have to be really careful with launching microtransactions. Like, they can be done in a way that is not offensive to your core customers, that can offer kind of an additional revenue stream and, help actually fund further development and make better games. But it also, like, nothing has the potential to turn your customer base against you the way microtransactions do.
Yeah, and especially, like, this is already a game that people are annoyed isn't coming to everything all at once. Like, this just feels like, oh, the knife's already in my back. Give it another twist. Like, really make it hurt that this is not coming to my platform of choice right off the bat. Like, ugh.
Do you think that this growing trend in, discussing microtransactions is coming from not being... I don't know if we talked about this, like this analogy, or this relation to not being able to raise the price of video games is coming from, like, well, we can't raise the price. Let's find other ways to nickel and dime.
See, I don't even know.
We touched on that a little bit. I mean, partially. I think maybe. I think that's part of it.
But you are, like, most AAA developers for a big game like this already sell, like, a ridiculous collector's edition for $100 or $120, or then they give you an RC car or night vision goggles. So you can nickel and dime people because they clearly keep buying those dumb things. But at the same time,
I would say it's different because you're getting an RC car compared to, cards to augment your level.
I actually think collector's editions are like a bad analogy because those exist specifically for the hardest, like, hardcore fans of the game, and you're generally getting, like, physical items that most people don't care about, but, like, they're arguably worth that price if you care about those items.
I would say yes, but I worked at Best Buy when Halo 3 came out. Like, those Halo 3 collector's editions with the Master Chief helmet, and it was like, after about a month, those were $29. You could buy them on our.
That's fine, but like it's worth what people are willing to pay.
And that's true.
I think a big physical item like that's like you have to remember something like that makes a great Christmas gift or something.
Sure.
You know, like there are a lot of reasons that someone will buy that. Maybe buy it for someone else, or I don't know. I can see something like that. Like microtransactions are very different in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. One of our chat members said go back to expansion packs. I miss those days. Like, I think Blizzard still does that really well with their big games. Like, StarCraft 2, here's the base game, and here are 2 expansion packs. That was the best to me, because then when you bought into it, you knew what you were getting and how much you were getting. With microtransactions, it's a nickel and dime. Like, you're not getting a ton of content all the time. And some people do microtransactions really, really well. Like, I think that you can do microtransactions in a way that are totally worth buying into. This does not seem like that.
I think the most of the ways that microtransactions are done well are for games that cost nothing up front.
Right.
I've very rarely ever seen a game that makes people pay for it first that has microtransactions that are done smartly.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that's the hard part, is that like the developers, like AAA developers, want to like turn these games into more of a recurring revenue stream, but they can't afford to make them actually free to play.
Yeah.
And so they kind of want both sides of it, and I think that's what makes it really hard. Is like I don't know that I've seen a great balance of a $60 title that includes like in-game transactions, like microtransactions, because the very premise of microtransactions, it works best if I haven't paid anything for the game.
Right.
Like I get to choose what I want to pay for.
Yeah, I mean, I think like here's the Storm. If you want to buy whatever hero you're super into, or Smite, for example, whatever god that you're ready for, or like there's a one-time purchase for Smite. It's like, hey, here's all the gods forever. Those are good ways for your free-to-play game to make some money. Because it's like, oh, I really like this game. I want to have all the options open. You know, I think Smite does it really, really well. $30 once. Here's all of the god packs. Like, here's all the gods you could possibly get, and then if you want skins, they're like a smaller microtransaction. But the base game itself is free. When you've got a game that you're already buying $60 into and then nickel and diming you on micros on top of that, that sucks.
I think the thing that I get out of this, though, is we live in the era right now where, microtransactions are a thing. They have been a thing for a long time. Like Brandon's saying, I agree. I tend to agree. If the game starts out free, the games they're the ones that tend to do the microtransaction stuff the best. But what happens is it's when you give when you see success like this, and these AAA companies that are already making a lot of money see success like this, they want a piece of this pie. And when you give like an inch, they try to take a mile. So it's the precedent all this stuff is setting. So like the thing that's scary about this is that there is fucking online virtual insurance for like the fact that just exists now. Other companies are going to see that, and maybe it won't. Maybe nobody will use it. But the fact that it has been put onto the playing field, you can't take it back now. You know what I mean? Like that's what scares me more.
I'm calling it right now.
And it's going to continue, and we're just going to continue. And there's going to be companies that continue to do it poorly, and hopefully, like us consumers, will be like, nope, we're not fucking. Don't do that. We're going to make sure. But I haven't seen enough that tells me that they're going to stop anytime soon. If it was that big of a hit, they wouldn't be doing it, and they're going to keep trying to take as much ground as they can with stuff like that. So that's what's unfortunate.
Right now, Sims 5 has homeowners insurance. I'm calling it.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Like, can you not see EA doing that? Like, here's our $60 game. Like, Sims 4 already $60, didn't have a lot of content people expected. Sims 5, $60 game plus $5 a month for homeowners insurance in case your house burns down or someone runs in and robs you. I'm dead serious.
Oh, I could definitely see that.
Absolutely, I think they could possibly do.
It's just scary.
You have to buy like home security systems.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Oh, and you can buy it with in-game with simoleons, but for $4, we'll give you your home security system and homeowners insurance every month.
I hate to think about that.
Yeah.
But it's realistic. It's realistic to think.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is like you have to. There's nothing really like almost at this point, like especially doing this podcast keeps us focused like every week on like what the next like. But I feel like it's picked up. I feel like if anything, we're like, wow, remember last year we were mad about some of this stuff? And I don't think it's gotten any better in any sense. I think it continues to get like, we're continually like, wow, they're really brazen now. Like they really don't care.
I think some like they're kind of pushing the boundaries, maybe seeing what they can get away with.
Right.
Because if it doesn't make news, like if it doesn't hit news outlets, there's actually almost no risk to doing something like this because the people that don't want it just won't buy it. but some people will buy it.
Right.
And like maybe it ends up being the same as like Call of Duty map packs, which like against like defies logic for me, but those map packs are ludicrously successful.
Yeah, it's all time.
And they're ridiculously expensive for what you get.
Yeah, they are. That's why like I have never bought one, but they do very, very well, which is the only reason that that model continues for Call of Duty.
Right, sure.
But like if news outlets don't expose this behavior so that people like actually read about it and know about it, otherwise it's just like a store listing that most people never see.
Yeah.
So I mean, from their perspective, like I'm curious to see if like any of these end up being really successful behind the scenes, but you just never really hear about it after the initial outrage.
Yeah. It's true.
Are we mad enough? Or
yeah, I think we can definitely move on. We could talk about this for literally forever, but we'll check in again from Extra Life. You know what? I will scour, even though we'll have a lot to talk about that doesn't involve microtransactions next week. Just for Extra Life, though, I will revisit this. I will check to see if there's something else that we can all get mad about.
There will be something, I'm sure.
There will be something. Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys.
So did Square Enix back down on the augment your pre-order?
Yeah.
Yes.
According to... Wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Maybe you should listen to the cast every week because we talked about it.
Be prepared. We
Definitely
did
talked about that last week.
It's okay.
Yeah, I feel terrible.
I don't listen to the cast either.
I've sinned.
All right, guys. There's a couple new releases from this past week. Probably the biggest one being Transformers Devastation from Platinum
That game
Games.
looks hype as fuck.
It's real fun. If you are big into the 80s Transformers franchise, the voice acting is good. The combat is super fun. It's like shell shaded. It's all seashells. Is the entire art style. It's a very unique game. It's cell shaded. It looks a lot like the original cartoon. The combat system is really cool. So if you're into Transformers, check that out. October 8th, we had Sublevel Zero, which is basically a roguelike Descent. If you are a big fan of 6 Degree of Freedom games, you can kind of fly a ship around. It's actually probably my favorite indie game to come out this year so far.
Yeah, that looks really fun.
It's super fun. It's ultra stylized, and every run is different. It works really well. It's got a couple quirks, but overall, super solid game. And I think it's only like $12 right now. So
oh shit, BRB.
Yeah, definitely worth picking up. Also, this upcoming week, Broforce is leaving early access, which we've played a lot on our couch streams. And actually, Eat My Diction 1 is now a character in Broforce, and so is Future Man Gaming
Future Man
from
as well,
Twitch. Yeah, those guys are now playable characters in Broforce. So make sure, I think it's still about $11 in early access, and it'll go to $15 once it launches. So if you guys haven't checked that out already, make sure you do that. We're going to take another quick 90-second break, and then we'll be back with viewer questions. All right, we're running a question.
Wow, this is going long. We got really mad tonight. It was good though. There was a lot of triggering stuff. I mean, I didn't expect. You know what? I'm not even mad. I'm gonna say what somebody in the chat said. I'm just disappointed. The more I think about the transactions, I'm just like, I feel like I'm beaten down. I feel like it is almost like we talked about this so much, but nothing changes. I mean, guys, are we gonna have to start like organizing protests? Are we going to be the grassroots that are really going to stop this? I don't know if we can.
I highly.
I'm down.
That.
I'm down to pick it. I'll set some side to side this week. Let's go. Who's developing Tomb Raider? It's Square Enix.
That's a Squeenix. Yeah.
Squeenix.
It's a Squeenix joint.
Let's get a couple plane tickets and let's do something. I'm sick of talking about
Scott,
it.
Scott,
that's
we're
what Extra Life.
I know we have Extra Life going on, but I don't. You know what? I think this is more important. Like what? Okay, sure, we can raise some money for some sick kids, or we can stop. We can help stop this microtransaction bullshit. I don't know.
Where do you think that money's going for the assault plan to raid the headquarters?
That's right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cancel Extra Life. Scott and I have to fly to wherever Square Enix headquarters is at and boycott. Although, actually, can we actually wait till early next year? Because I really want to play Just Cause 3. So.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, see, that is.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah, let's
okay. We'll give them some time,
and then after January we can go and pick it.
All right. That's
just priorities, man. Just Cause 3 looks really fun.
It does.
Did anybody see the 41 minutes of 60 frames per second gameplay that I think it was Polygon posted, where you can literally shoot one of the giant propane barrels, grapple yourself to it, and shoot yourself into the air? It looks amazing.
I've been trying not to spoil myself on that, but that sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah,
they've embraced the absolute insanity.
Yeah, and they always kind of had, but
2 was like that, but
man, like the wingsuit looks fantastic. December 1st is going to be so good.
December 1st. Okay, that's when it comes out. I
Yes.
forgot. Cool.
there's some good questions this week, actually. Some decent ones.
Yeah, we got some good ones.
It was 8.5.
Yes.
Question of the year.
The GOAT question.
All right, we should. Yeah, we're back. Let's hop into viewer questions. At Coach IM asks, if the KBMOD podcast was a TBS sitcom, we're off to a great start. Yeah. Which popular actors would play the roles of the current cast?
I know right away. I would be Patton Oswalt.
Yes, exactly, right.
Is that what you were thinking?
I was thinking Patton Oswalt. Yeah, we'd have to get him a neckbeard, but it'd be fine.
Yeah, no, and I would be on King of Queens, and I would be Spence.
Okay.
Straight up.
This is good.
I think Scott would be Tyler Perry.
Would I? Really? Man.
I feel like Brandon would be the worst character from Big Bang Theory. What's Jim Parsons? But not as obnoxious as he is on Big Bang Theory.
As obnoxious, but yeah, as like attention to detail and stuff like that.
He would be very like anal retentive, and that's fine.
It's actually not the first time I've heard that, but I sort of understand where people would come from with that. But that's also one of the things that over the years, like. When I first watched Big Bang Theory, I actually thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good show. And so I kept watching it, because like I enjoyed the show at first. And I have never come to loathe the show so much, like watching it through the years. Like I actually hate the show. Like I vehemently hate the show. And so like it's weird. I don't really have that relationship with any other show, but his character, the Sheldon character in particular, I now like someone comparing me to that character, really incenses me.
Yeah, I felt bad even saying it
because I see all of the like little stereotypes they're hitting with one character,
right?
And like
it's such a.
Well, it's the thing.
I watched the one of the premiere of this season tonight. It just happened to be on, and it's gone down to such a look at the funny dumb nerd.
I think that's the problem with that show. And I'm with Brandon. I watched probably the first 3 seasons of that show, and what if you go back even now and watch the first season, it's not bad. It's not great by any stretch. Yeah. It's still it's kind of nerdy and kind of funny, but you can see this slow transition from when it was we're laughing because we're all kind of nerdy to look, we're laughing at the nerds. It felt more insulting, we're laughing at you, not with you. So it's okay, well, fuck this. This show sucks now. And I agree with Brandon. I've never hated a television show so much in my life by watching it. I can just see your slow decline into shitville.
All right, well, what would Hex be and what would Katie Zen be?
Katie Zen would be a guest star that was shown once and then killed off.
Oh, man. I'm trying to think.
I don't even know. Some B actor you've never heard of.
Thanks.
Katie Zen, did you have one that you were thinking of?
Yeah, who would you be, Katie Zen?
I can't really think of one for myself.
I think Katie Zen will be Michael Richards.
Michael Richards?
Yeah. You're not...
Google who that is.
Oh, my... No, never mind. Forget it.
See, my thought was Katie Zen would be the nerdy dude from The Breakfast Club, the guy that played Brian. I feel like that would work out.
I fucking know Michael Richards. God damn it.
All right, we're done with this. We're done. No,
I forgot that he was a little too young to know
right
off the bat who Michael Richards was.
I forgot his name. I knew who he was. Oh, I just forgot his name.
Kramer.
Hex is a bald Charlie Sheen.
Okay,
like that.
Fine, whatever. That's fine with me. Bald Charlie Sheen it is. All right. I Am Cyberwaste has asked, out of all the contests you've entered in your lifetime, what's the best thing you've won? His being a JP Dreamcast, which I'm assuming means a Japanese Dreamcast.
Never won anything, and I never enter contests.
Yeah.
Those are probably very much linked, I guess, because I never enter contests, so it would be hard for me to win something unless I'm just selected. What is that when they you win $1 million? They come to your door, in your neighborhood. You win $1 million.
Publishers Clearinghouse.
Yeah. Publishers Clearinghouse or something.
Yeah, I don't enter contests. I've entered a couple Twitter contests. It's retweet and you'll get a copy of this game or get a free key. I've never won any of that shit. I don't know.
The closest I've ever come was when I was living overseas and I was still in my Christian Goody Boy Two Shoes mode. I wrote an article, a letter that got published as the featured letter in the official PlayStation magazine. I can definitely, I got to screenshot this and put this on Twitter at some point because people don't believe me. Decrying the original Grand Theft Auto 3 because like young kids that I knew were playing it, and I was like equating it to like their bad behavior or whatever.
Oh my.
And they literally the screenshot was a picture of a dude being beat to death with a baseball bat and said, "Come here, Scott, we got something to talk about." And that was like my finest achievement getting published in the official PlayStation.
I must see this.
Yeah,
I will
this.
find it. I think I could have my mom screenshot it. She still has the original magazine.
Yeah, please make that happen.
I think that qualifies. Like, that is a decent answer for this question.
Yeah, I mean it's not a contest, but I did. I mean it was published.
You won like recognition.
And dude, so it was so funny. So I haven't told the story in a while, but I didn't realize. So we lived overseas, and we like mail took forever to get there, and I used my dad's email address as the one in the letter. And all of a sudden, this was like I didn't know that the letter got published until for like I think like 2 months after the issue had been out, and all of a sudden I just started getting these hateful emails with no context. Like no context. And so I didn't know what was going on. And like one of them was like, "Hey, you fag Christian boy, shut up. GTA is best," or something.
Jesus.
And then they just kept coming and coming. And I was super confused. And then I finally put 2 and 2 together that I must have gotten published by the official PlayStation magazine. And then finally, like I had somebody send it to me, and sure enough,
oh my
it
god!
had been. And I got a few like positives that were like, "Yeah, it is pretty true. Like young kids shouldn't be playing GTA or whatever." And basically, their response was like, "Yeah, like no shit. Like young kids shouldn't be playing violent video games." But yeah, so
Well, now like the path to you becoming a true social justice warrior makes complete sense now.
doesn't it? Right? I started around 11 or 12. Man, I was trying to make a difference. God, I can't. I gotta find that. People won't believe it.
I don't really enter contests either. Like I can't think of anything that I've won that like made any mark on my life, or that like I can't remember. I've probably entered something but either didn't win it, or it was like, you enter a raffle at school or something and you get, I don't know, some small prize.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of a single thing that I've won from a big contest, so.
Yeah, I've only ever won stuff on like Twitter. I can think now of like I won a giveaway of like a Planet Side 2 beta key for the PS4. And it was
Oh yeah,
well,
I mean if you count
that's
stuff
that's my achievement
like
of all the
that, but
contests.
Yeah, I can't think of anything better than like I won a beta key or something.
Yeah, that's really
yeah. Oh, my mom follows like a lot of like she follows everything on Facebook and enters every single giveaway.
Oh.
And so I won like a copy of Far Cry 3 on the PC in like disc format.
That's not bad.
And
that's not bad at all.
I remember them asking me to like, "Hey, can you post on your wall that you won?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." "Oh, I don't know, the picture's just not uploading," and I just never ended up posting.
Real quick though, have you guys ever known? My best friend growing up, who I kind of grown up, I don't really see him much anymore, but his family, him and they had a bunch of kids, and obviously I had brothers and sisters growing up, so we were really close. But that family, like, you ever met a family that just has like all the luck, or like people that you know that have all the luck? Like he was a basketball player, but he would just like he got selected twice in the time I knew him, in like a 2-year span, to shoot for a $500 and $1,000 half court shot. He made both of them. He made both of them. Routinely, he would like his mother like would send away for stuff in one contest. They were just like they had like the Midas touch, and our whole family always used to joke about it, be like, what did they win now? What did they win? And it was like, I know, I was very jealous. So I don't know. That probably also is why I don't enter contests, because I'm like, well, the fucking Cornells they're gonna win it. So fuck it. Or is that just my experience? You guys haven't known anybody super lucky and been very jaded about it?
There was a kid in the town that I grew up in that their family hit the lottery, like
Ooh,
for
well,
like a couple $1 million, and then within a year it was gone.
Ooh, yeah. Well, that also sounds like
most lottery winners. So
yeah. Holy shit.
All right.
Okay.
At Sexy Dolphin asks, since I haven't asked a question in a while, I will. I'd like to know why. I'd like to know why I still get the kids menu when I go out to eat.
Because you love the chicken nuggets.
I mean, have you not grown into
is
a
he
full
implying
dolphin yet? Like
the waiter gives him, like, just automatically hands him the child's menu, assuming that he or she is a child?
maybe.
Oh, actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I think
I
that's
wasn't sure. Yeah, I don't know what question he's asking.
yeah.
Is like why he is given the kids menu,
That's what
or
I
why
feel.
he prefers the kids menu.
Oh, I see. I see.
See, the phrasing is important.
Yeah.
Well, I would go into maybe getting some facial hair. Not
Yeah,
so
that
sure.
can help.
Yeah, that helps. If you're 12, that's going to be a little difficult. But
Stop
if
hanging
you're-
out with Andy Milanakis, because
Well, if
that's
you're a
probably that's probably not helping the situation.
You could go for it if you were human and not a sexy dolphin like you are.
maybe you just haven't matured into the dolphin you want to be, and someday you'll get off that kids menu and get like a full meal.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I understand the temptation of ordering from the kids menu at times. There would never be enough food to fill me up. But the kids menu does, like, it's no bullshit, simple things that you enjoy.
Yeah. Do you ever have a problem when like you see the kids menu? It's like on the bottom of the regular menu or something.
Yeah.
And like,
You're like,
maybe you're at a nice place. But then you see the kids menu and you're like, man, I bet this place makes some killer chicken nuggets.
My friend was coming home. My brother was coming home the other day, and he was gonna I'm stopping by, Burger King, McDonald's. Do you want anything? And I said, surprise me, and he got me the dinosaur chicken nuggets. And initially I was like, oh fuck you. But then I'm like, damn, these are actually these are some solid chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, you go to a Ruth's Chris. No, I don't want a steak. I'll have the chicken fingers, please. Can I get French fries?
Do they have a kids menu at Ruth Chris?
I mean, I don't know.
They might.
All right. At Sternfaced asks, how often should I wash my bathrobe if I'm only clean when I use it?
I have to think long and hard about this.
That's a really good question.
That's actually a very good question.
Actually, can we re-ask the question with the proper demeanor for the way that it's written?
Actually, I'm going to let you...
I'll do it.
Yeah, okay. You go
How
for
often? Okay. How often should I wash my bathrobe? If I'm only clean when I use it?
There you go.
it. There, yeah, that's better inflection.
It's like I don't know if Sternface is sure if they are actually getting clean before they don the bathrobe.
It's like two separate questions. He's like, one, how often should I wash my bathrobe? And like, he doesn't seem sure if he's only clean when he uses it.
That's right, yeah. Well, I would say if you have any question, like if there's any questions in your mind of how clean you are because of your showering or bathing habits, then you should at least wash your bathrobe, I would say, once a month at the very least. Maybe once every 2 weeks.
I feel like 2 weeks is a lot better.
I mean, if you wear your bathrobe every time, I mean, I
Sure.
don't know. I'm not a bathrobe wearer, so I don't know. Like, I'm just like...
Okay, so the thing with bathrobes that confuses me, who has that kind of time? Like, you get out of the
What?
shower, and it's just like, okay.
And then you're like in a lounge in your bathrobe before
I
you
just
get
think I'll
dressed.
sit here naked with a man-shaped towel around me for a little while. I
mean,
have
bathrobes are
nothing to
really
do
comfortable.
today.
I mean, I get it.
Honestly, my bedroom is like right across from the bathroom, so I just walk naked sometimes.
Yeah, no, same, yeah.
Someone
How does
sees
that
me,
work when your family members are walking around?
Then you assert your dominance
Oh,
over
they
your
deal
other
with
family
it.
members, yeah.
Yeah.
Clear
Well, I've heard your brother already tells you routinely. I found this out from playing a game with Katie Zen that his brother tells him that he has a fantastic ass on a regular basis. So there's a lot of I don't know what goes on in that family, but we don't judge.
It
I
just
don't know.
seems-
I've never really worn a bathrobe. I mean,
Only
it's a
like at
valid
hotels,
question.
Right.
Hotels.
No, I've actually like at a hotel. Absolutely not. Are you kidding me?
Really? No. What about like a really nice hotel? Oh my God, I have a story. So when I was staying in San Francisco, me and my girlfriend went for a trip. Brandon, we were staying at the Westin, which is really nice, downtown. And I called. They were like, "Sir, would you like a bathrobe?" And I never go to fancy hotels, so I'm like, "Sure." So they bring up. They're like, 2 or just 1, and luckily I said just 1. They bring up the bathrobe as we're leaving. Right, I'm looking at the charges. $80.
Jesus Christ!
Oh. I thought it was complimentary.
Did someone handcraft that
No,
bathrobe in the
and
lobby?
I don't think I even I don't think I even wore it. Like, anyway. So next time I'm at a fancy hotel, I am not accepting anything they ask me. I'm like, no, absolutely.
Some
not.
hotels just have a bathrobe in the
Yeah.
like in the room, and I'm
This
pretty
one
sure generally you can just use that one, and they clean it up like a
I
towel.
guess because they
but
brought this one to me that it was the $80 one because it wasn't.
maybe
in the room.
I feel like maybe you actually purchased a bathrobe.
Yeah, I
and you
might
just
have.
didn't
That's
realize
true.
it.
I didn't even keep it. That's true.
You should have for $80.
I actually think you purchased a bathrobe.
Like, I'm pretty sure that the place that Megan and I stayed at PAX South this year, they gave you bathrobes, but it was like the rattiest Motel 6 ever, and you would have had... I would have had to be someone broke into the room, burned all of my clothes and all of the bed sheets before I would have put that on to, like, go find more clothes. It just... Oh, God, that place was so scummy.
When I came, this is how my hotel decline happened. Now I won't stay at any place anyway. Now I have standards, quote unquote, because I stayed at the Westin in San Francisco, and then when I decided to move to Pittsburgh a couple months or like 4 or 5 months ago, I was like, you know what? This is a lot of expenses. I'm paying for flights. I'm not going to really spend too much on a hotel, so I got a Red Roof Inn in an okay area, but literally about the second day that we're there, and it's like high pressure, and like I'm just like not really. We're trying to find a place to stay. I'm just laying there with the blanket near my nose, and I'm like, this smells like straight piss. This smells like urine, and my girlfriend smells it. And she's like, yeah, I think it's urine, and I was like, okay, that was where. Anyway, so now I'm like, you know what? I try to avoid. Not that you can't have the thing with those chain hotels is like there can be like well-run ones relatively, right? It just depends, but
yeah,
it's just basically it's a crapshoot with the low-ranked hotels because some of them will be terrible, some of them will be acceptable, and you'll feel like you got a good deal. Sure. But like, are you willing to spin that roulette wheel?
Yeah. Exactly, and that's the thing where it's like if you just pay for a little bit more for like one that is going to have a higher standard, I feel like it's worth it.
Like, the hotel we stayed at South was not great, but, like, man, if I ever was in a hotel and I got in bed and was like, no, this reeks like piss, I would burn the place down. There's nothing more offensive to me than that smell. Like,
it also had one of those bathrooms where the shower they just had a curtain, and it was like, it's like if you were going into like a locker room, right, where there's just like shower head, and it's just like the only separation was that they put a curtain, and like the floor, just everything drained, like it was made for like
in
cleaning
the middle
dogs
of your
or something.
bedroom.
Like everything was supposed to drain into one hole. I was just like, this is a massive mistake.
The toilet drains into it, the shower drains into it.
Also, the bathroom locked like from the outside, so like, and it was like, anyway, it was a whole nightmare.
Wow. Oh god, that sounds fucking awful.
Anyway, I don't know how we got on this, but
yeah, so
question.
I would say wash your bathrobe every 2 weeks.
The moral of the story is wash your bathrobe.
I think like you should just use your judgment.
Yeah.
Because if you like, you are clean when you put it on.
It's true.
So so if you think that you do a good job cleaning in your shower, like, I don't know, maybe you can go a few weeks, but that's going to be your call. You definitely don't want to get to the point where you feel like you are putting on something dirty after your clean shower.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the thing with me is like, I want to dry off, and then I want to put on clothes that I know are clean. A bathrobe does not fit that description.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking more of like, the bathrobes aren't comfortable, in my opinion. And also, like, when you're wearing them, they get wet. And, like, you don't want to, like, hang a wet bathrobe. Like, for multiple uses, you know?
Well, if you hang it, I mean it's going to dry out on its own. I think the good rule of thumb should be if you take it off of the hanger and it doesn't really start to just, like, drop away and it holds its form, maybe wash it at that point.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be gross and, like, can we please stop? I don't want to talk about this.
There's got to be a BuzzFeed article.
I also forgot to mention that we're pretty sure that at the Red Roof Inn we stayed at, there was a whore ring going on, because the entire night there was this one sound of this woman going, and just people just pounding. Yeah. I'm not even kidding. No. And literally to the point where we talked with the front desk, and they were like, yeah, I don't know if it's possible. I was like, we shouldn't be here. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, we just got back from that.
Yeah, they were all there. And one of the guys came out in the morning when me and my girlfriend were leaving, and he was like, were you guys really loud last night? And I was like, no. There was like, it was the room over there. And we were like, did you hear it too? He's like, yeah, it was going all night. It sounded like the same woman was getting. And I was like, I really messed up with my hotel. All right, sorry, no more.
All right, Brandon, give us the iTunes podcast review of the week and tell people why they should do this.
So we are doing this show live, but you can also listen to it in audio format. We post it on Tuesdays every week after the live show, and we distribute it through a program called iTunes. You might have heard of it. There are multiple ways to access iTunes, but all of those ways allow you to log into your iTunes account and rate the things that you're listening to. You can do that for just about anything, but we'd like you to do it for our podcast. And each week we pick a new review from someone who has reviewed us. And the only rule that we have is that the rating must be 5 stars. And I mean, I think this is pretty quality. Like, if you don't think this free podcast you're listening to this week was worth your 5-star rating, then just don't rate it at all. But hopefully, we hope you like it. And so please do rate us 5 stars, and you might have the chance to be featured on one of the future podcasts.
There you go.
So what's the highlight for this week? What was the iTunes review of the week this week?
So this week, who wants to read it?
Let's let Katie Zen.
Yeah, Katie Zen, why don't you read it?
You do it.
Okay, the title of this review is Don't Stop. It's from Voracious9, and he says, "This podcast is a weekly reminder that I haven't failed at life yet. Keep it classy, KBMOD."
I don't know how to read that. Like,
yeah, is he saying? Yeah, I'm not sure either, Hex.
Like,
so
is this his?
This feels like a backhanded
reminder?
compliment.
A little bit, yeah. Like, I feel like, oh man, I listen to this podcast every week to think, well, at least I'm not those chuckle fucks. Like,
yeah, I think so. I think that's what he means.
He also said he hasn't failed at life yet.
Right. So he's assuming the eventual downfall is coming, but he's not quite there.
Yeah.
So, well,
I wonder if like him listening to us is his barometer for whether he's failing yet. And that's responsibility I don't know that I want.
Actually,
yeah, exactly.
Maybe he's saying he listens to it weekly because he knows as soon as he skips listening, that's when he's failed at life.
That's the real positive.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like this. I like to think about it that way.
That is a more positive view. That like this is kind of what keeps him getting up in the morning.
Keeps him going.
It's like, well, I forgot to listen to the KBMOD podcast this week. I failed at life. It's okay, man.
That's
It'll
what
be
it is.
there.
If we're someone's reason, if this podcast is somebody's reason to get up in the morning, then you know what? We've done our job.
If that is the case, please dial your local support line and get help because
we don't want that responsibility.
No, not at all.
That's true. But
yeah, all right, that's
Okay.
gonna do it. That's gonna
thank
do
you
it
for the
tonight.
5 stars. Yeah,
He was actually, I will mention, he was our only review this week. So he sort of won by default, even though it was a good review that could have won against others.
Oh my God, he just got a participation trophy level of review reading.
Well, no, see, he didn't have a choice.
That's true.
I think he probably still would have won like against other reviews. But I'm just saying, like you never know how close you are to fame.
That's a good point.
And he might not have expected to get featured, but he did just because he was the only one this week.
Right.
So any given week could be your week.
Just keep reviewing. Just keep reviewing.
The easy way to tell if it's someone who's trying to be on the cast is to look at their name. And if it's something like Will McCockfit, then you know it's someone going for the cast. Or Holden McCock.
But those are both really good. That's the thing, is if you're gonna have a name that is probably not your own name, it better be good.
Yeah. I mean, the whole Hodes family, really, they all love us.
At this point, we have a very high standard for meme names getting featured on the cast.
Things in my life I never thought that I would live to achieve would be being on a podcast where the phrase "we have a very high threshold for name memes" was ever uttered. But
This is the last podcast we're ever going to do.
We did it together.
Oh, man. All right, that's going to do it for episode 209. If you don't already, make sure you check us out at kbmod.com. You can follow us on Twitter at kbmodgaming. You can follow Scott at APL Fisher. You can follow KDZen at KDZen18 if you hate yourself. You can follow Brandon at Volition, and the first I is a 1. You can follow me at Hexadecimal. We will be back next Saturday for the Live from Extra Life, episode 2010. 20. We're skipping 1,800 podcasts. We're
But that's how special
2010.
it is. So.
Yeah, it's that good. It's so many podcasts all rolled into one. We'll be back next Saturday with episode 210 live from our Extra Life event. Make sure you guys tune in to twitch.tv/KBMOD for that. We're going to have a great time. We've got lots of great prizes. We will see you then.
Tune in all weekend next weekend. We'll be live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So definitely make sure to come out. Put it on your calendar.
Yep. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Katie's on. Where is it? You got to do it. Nick's not here.
Meet Sketa!